I gotta hear that one again. Sizzler. Sing about the microchip.
Yeah.
All right.
Straight. All right, Shalom, Shalom. Before we get started, we give all praises to our power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. All right, we're the prophets of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as you other Israelites who don't necessarily have that phenotype, but this truth resonates with you. You believe in this truth, makes you feel remorseful, and leads you on the path to salvation, praying to Yahushai for deliverance as our mediator. Shalom to the household of faith, double honor to our elders and apostles, of course. We're not afraid to name who they are, who taught us this truth, all the elders and bishops, a great millstone. We're going to get into prophecies because we're not just average Israelites, all right? We don't just walk around with t-shirts and fringes. We see what's going on in the world, geopolitically, economically, and we filter through the scriptures, all right? What's going on right now that we can filter to the scriptures, and let's kind of bring it out, all right? Because Jacob's going to want answers when the power is off, when resources are scarce, when half their neighborhood is getting locked up. All right, they're gonna want to know what the hell is going on.
Quick reset?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
That's why the Lord said, gird up thy loins like a man, because I will demand of thee, Especially if the Lord has chosen you to do this truth, he's going to put a certain amount of weight and chastisement on you, and then he's gonna command you to keep your priorities in order. Continue on in his faith, because more things are being revealed as we go on that we need to continue to bring out as watchmen for our people. Go ahead.
It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Yeah, this is not super complex. It's a 1 + 1 thing, all right? It's not algebra. It's not long division. It's very easy to understand. All right, it doesn't take a 7-hour live show, a 4.5-hour live show. A lot of scriptures. That's why the time has been trimmed up as far as doing the work when we're out here, because it's very plain. It's very simple. All right, it's not hard to understand the concept of the nukes, martial law, the chip, the name of the Lord, and the fruits of the Spirit to sustain us through all this. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Right, and that's what's going on right now. All right, the vision is speaking in front of your face and in secrecy, because that's another thing about being a watchman. All right, a lot of the stuff Esau, he's going to put out in the news what he wants you to see. But as a watchman, you got to go further with your questions. You're reading an article, you see a company name, okay, look up the head of the company. Look else what else they're into. You know what I'm saying?
Where their money go back to.
Exactly. That's what they say, follow the money, right? And that's going to reveal a lot of the secrets in this man's plans coming up, especially when it comes to this technology and these AI data centers. The approval ratings, there's a lot of resistance. The majority is like over 70% of Babylonian American citizens approve of data centers being in or around their neighborhood or in their county. Everybody else is like, okay, we like it, whatever, it's creating jobs. All right, but it's stealing all your resources. So this man's got to have a plan or a contingency plan in place for when people start rising up. And that's what we're going to get into. A lot of you Israelites, you're going to get locked up, man. And you're not going to get let out. Whatever I can got, you can bring that one out.
This is Jeremiah 15:2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword.
Right, this is reincarnation. All right, this is Lord telling, look, you're going to come back, and this is how you're going to go out, because you are, like it says in the Apocrypha, the generation born in vain. You don't have no hope. That's why there was this whole acronym YOLO. For one summer, everybody was saying YOLO. No, you're going to come back. And if you have that understanding, you're sincere, you fear the Lord enough, you're going to get on the right path and say, you know what, I don't want to get whacked on this side, man. I want to come down as New Jerusalem, not be born as New Jerusalem, Go ahead.
and such as are for the famine to the famine,
Yep.
and such as are for the captivity to the captivity.
Yeah, you got a lot of Israelite niggards, man. All right, storing up food. And again, I'm gonna look up that word. Look up the definition of a contingency plan. You got a lot of Israelites. They got these plans outside of having faith, fasting and praying. Not only is fasting good for your body, but look at the times you're coming into. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need to be able to have your to be able to adapt to not having what you always have, but at the same time maintaining the same mental fortitude with the scarcity of resources. What's it say?
A contingency plan, often called Plan B, is an alternate course of action designed to be implemented if an original plan fails.
Right, so you got these doomsday preppers. They had these shows, you know, the niggas in bed, alarm goes off at 3 a.m. All right, let me see how long it takes me to get to the Hudson, where I hit my kayak under some leaves. How long is it gonna take me to you know what I'm saying, paddle over to Jersey and shit? No. Okay, what if your route, what if all your routes are somehow militias there, you know what I'm saying? Bridges destroyed. The only contingency plan we have is that Yahweh Shemiah Rashad protects our mind. We just move in the spirit. You know? There is no plan. This is plan A. Okay?
They ain't playing for the Jackers. You remember how you had the joint where you did you worked when you was little. What was that shit called? When you worked when you was young to get your school clothes and shit. Them jobs in the summer.
Yeah.
You had grimy niggas waiting outside the checker cashier. You can have grimy niggas waiting to see what contingency plan niggas have, so they could run and just take their shit.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah, there's this phrase called giving up your position. A lot of you fear you're gonna give up your position. You know.
I had a precept you mentioned those people that believe in that YOLO mentality. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright, our life is short and tedious. And in the death of a man, there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have...
It's in the death of a man, there's no remedy. But the scripture says death is better than a life of continual sickness. You know? Go ahead. So there is remedy in death. First of all, you're completely righteous. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then two, you're at rest. Even the wicked are there. All right? In order. Shutting the hell up, waiting to come back and serve their time in slavery. Go ahead.
Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been.
Yeah, that's a carnal mindset. You know, you think you just turn back to dust, but your whole cognitive abilities, everything, what happens to that? You know? Go ahead.
For the breath in our nostril is a smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as so the soft air.
Yeah, but the Lord doesn't destroy spirits, all right? They're getting placed back. That's why we're going to find out as beautiful as that came out, because the tribe of Dan. We're going to figure that out in the kingdom. It's not like Dan just got crushed and because Esau have you think that assimilation, he just merged in with other cultures and this is who they are now. No, their spirits are amongst the other tribes. We're going to figure that out in the kingdom. That's another reason we fight so hard, man, because we prophesy in part, we know in part. There's the Lord, that's the one thing too that makes women attracted to men. The unknown, you know. She doesn't know, and you keep her in the unknown constantly. That's what keeps the woman around, you know. That's why Yahweh Shai said, "No man have seen, I have not seen, ear have not heard." So we're imagining, we're fighting, man. We're fighting to be there at that wedding, to be on the first go round, you know. That's what we want. We know there's hope to come back, but these Wisdom of Solomon, this is a carnal mindset. This is carnal thinking right here, you know. Some more there?
Yes.
Okay.
And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance.
Oh, that's on that Tower of Babel spirit, because that's what they did back then. They all came together. How are we going to be remembered? We got to fortify or build something. I almost watched the show on Netflix last night. Something about a flood is Asian based, Moab based. And everybody was climbing up a stairwell in an apartment building. You seen that? I didn't watch it.
I saw some of that shit on the Fire Stick.
I added it to my watch list. But you see this huge ass wave coming in the background, everybody going up to the top. Then that's all pride and ego. Yeah. That's all that is. So that's what Esau is doing right now on the left hand side with AI. Right. You know, he wants to transcendence. You know, he wants to put his whole consciousness into a computer, which you're years and years and years away from that, man. There's no way the Lord will allow you to do that, for you to live forever. That's basically immortality.
Yeah, what the so-called white man will do is he'll read things in the scriptures, try to mimic the Most High. So one thing the Most High is known for is being immortal, right? It's always been around. It's the beginning before there was even time. How could he mimic that on a scientific level? Watch House of Cards. They had this cult of like billionaires, people, and everything like that. They had this data that pretty much got every Neuralink of this particular person, like how his brain process would be. And you just see a virtual vision of his face, and anything you ask it, it would answer how he would answer.
Oh wow!
Yeah. In other words, even though he's dead, he's,
right,
he'll still be alive.
Mm-hmm. That's also Black Mirror shit.
Yeah, if I can add too, there's also a TV show Netflix. It's called Alternate Carbon, where what they do is they'll take like your conscience like while you're alive, right? And then they'll put it in something, and let's say like 50 years later, like people are still alive, and then it's like they'll take your conscience and put it in that person's body, and that's what they'll do to try to say, look, like we can live forever.
Yeah. Yes, Esau being carnal, thinking he's going to get the blessing back. Immortality is only on the table for Israelites, man. All right, we're going to live forever. You're going to cease eventually to exist. All right? The other heathens, they'll be able to go and enjoy the kingdom after they serve slavery. But Esau, your ass went too far, man. It was prophesied for your memorial to be removed from the earth. Even the heathen's going to want you to get out of here. You know? Yeah, hop in there. Whatever I can got.
All right, this is
I got 2 more verses. Verse 5, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 5. Our time is a very shadow that passes away, and after our end there is no returning.
Yeah, it said that's why you got that phrase, catch the vapors. You know, we were all made up of water. That's what the Lord is going to do to a lot of you Israelites. He's going to vaporize you, but you're going to rematerialize in the kingdom. It said, but we're like a spark. You can see that. They show the image of the sperm hitting the egg, an actual spark goes off. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Light.
Yeah, light. It's like a flash inside there.
That's the spirit. It says, for it is a fast seal, so that no man can cometh again. So,
Yeah. That's why the Lord also, he's blocked off our minds. It says that in Ecclesiastes. You can't remember your past life. There's no remembrance. You know? Because the Lord will let your head will bust. You know, you go into a crazy house. Your mind wouldn't be able to contain these centuries and centuries of torment, of going off, being righteous again, being put to death. Imagine you had to see that over and over again on some Groundhog Day shit, man. Right. That's torment.
And there's a lot of dicks in this world that have this mindset, like, well, fuck it, let's just do whatever, we're going to die, who gives a shit? Mm-hmm. But we understand that, the spirit continues forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These spirits you see walking around, the ancient spirits. You might be in the flesh for 35 years. I ain't gonna say age, but you guys get the point, man. For X amount of years. All right, that's how come we've always had this truth. All right, really, we're reawakened to the truth. You know what I'm saying? The Most High put us in remembrance, but all these spirits have been around for a very long time, and we understand if you carry yourself a particular way in one lifetime, you will suffer the consequences in that particular lifetime or the next.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, further down, I think you got some more.
I got you, yeah. This is Jeremiah 15 and 5. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem, or who shall bemoan thee, or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can break it down.
Oh yeah, so none of these nations going to have pity upon you. We're not even considered a nation. We don't fall under the international law of protection. We can't take these devils to world court because we're not acknowledged as a nation. And that heathen that's on top, they don't want this truth to ever come out. What's our real nationality and all of that. So that's why they get away with doing what they do to us. All right? So there go your generational wealth and your prosperity.
Right. Yeah,
Sorry.
we're practical, all right? We do things to make sure that we good, you know? And if for whatever reason we have to go, and this time our families are straight. But it's talking about, and we're not trying to create wealth so then we die off, our children die off, and now we got great-great-grandchildren still prophesying with flying cars and shit, you know? Nah, look, this man doesn't have long, all right? And he knows he doesn't. That's why that bill I was gonna bring out, that $75 billion for ICE, it's like an NFL contract, all right? You get a little bit of money up front, you get a little bit of money in 2027, you get a little bit more in 2028. That's how Esau's thinking, all right? Because if he rolls that, because Esau likes to do a thing what you call gradualism, all right? Something going on in the background of the movie scene, it's blurred out, but then it's brought into full vision. You're like, damn, that's why that lamp was there. That's why that nigga in the corner was looking like that. Now it's in your face. You have no choice but to deal with it, you know? That's Esau. Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Yeah, that's that ancient spirit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're old or young. You're going to be part of the chain gang, just like Esau's mindset was back then. Everybody going to get it. Everyone has to be accounted for. That's why they're doing test runs, or what I like to call a stress test in other countries. Like some of these East African countries, the children that are being born, they already got digital IDs. All right? Some of these companies, the way that they're operating it 24/7, I just brought it out with BlackRock and certain whitelisted corporations, all right? They're doing trading and stuff 24/7 on a certain platform. They don't even need, they can enter and exit the market whenever the hell they want to. That making banks and cash obsolete. But right now it's just with corporations. They want everybody to be like that though. Imagine somebody tell you that you can enter and exit a market whenever you want to. You're gonna say, well, put the chip anywhere. You know, somebody that's full-fledged thinking about 6, 7 generations from right now, man. Esau will be fortunate if he makes it to 2028. You know? Because this war is also going to bring the draconian measures. This man wants to get a draft instituted in December. That's why the scripture says, such as for death is death, such as the captivity to captivity. A lot of you, when you read in Daniel's, and it said whenever you hear the sackbut, the trumpet, the upholstery, everybody bowed down. You got a lot of Israelites, you're ready to bow down. Because Esau got his wickedness tuned to the frequency that you like, you know? We pray to the Lord that we don't bow down. Because we're not trying to get crushed. You know? Go ahead, bro. We're praying for best possible outcome. Look, let's say it's going to happen, you know? Some brother's going to get carried off. You're going to get something thrown over your head. You know, you're going to wake up in a room, strapped down. And Esau's going to have a syringe and say, do you want to take it willingly or do I have to put it in you? Well, you just got to pray. The Lord turn your arm into Jax from Mortal Kombat. You break out of that shit, you know? Because the Lord, it said, touch not my anointed. The Lord's only going to let us be backed into a corner so much. Then that standard's got to get lifted up.
This is Revelation 13 and 11, because you spoke of the Lord. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Right?
Yeah,
oh yeah, so that's a Roman Empire. So now you got the Republicans and the Democrats, right? And also the dragon, he spake as a dragon, is draconian law. That law, elder brother just mentioned what they about to do, what they gave ICE. You know what I mean? So it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, and these detention centers and processing centers, it's going from like housing 10,000 people to 80,000, 100,000. Fully operated prisons. All right, this is surpassing what Obama did. All right, because Obama also had a bill that was funded to it militarized the police, so it gave them military weapons and stuff like that. And then when Biden came in office, he restricted it, but Trump opened it back up. He opened it all back up. So now you got police departments and precincts. They got military grade weaponry to deal with you niggas. Talking about you got bazookas and stuff. You know?
They got them robots.
Yeah, they got robots.
Yeah.
You better hope Esau doesn't let Moab drop his fleet of drones and robots over here.
Right.
You know? But that's those extreme measures that need to be brought upon Jake. They need their ass whooped, man. Go ahead.
Revelation 12?
Yeah, let's bring that up.
Yeah, that's Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath."
Right, and again, it starts with gradualism. Last year, I looked it up. Last year was a record number of satellite launches for Starlink. Why is that? Then this year, it's an exponential ramp up of trying to build these data centers. You know? Because this devil, he's coming. He wants everything to be tracked. Mind you, these satellites, remember, they're in the inner atmosphere. All right, these are not outside the Van Allen belt. You know, and all. When you look at an image of all the satellites on Earth, when you Google it, it's blanketed. You know, the skies, because it's not just U.S. satellites. You got China launching these shits, Russia launching. This is all for everybody's going towards the same place. You know, all these countries are trying to fight for the superpower. 13 families are looking at them like, y'all niggas are stupid.
Yeah.
You know? We still control everything in their mind, you know?
Yeah, very true. In their mind. This guy just does SpaceX.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which is a disaster.
Elon Musk launched this company, SpaceX, and within days it became like one of the largest companies in the earth, 2-point-something trillion, larger than Saudi Aramco. So that's letting you know that a lot of money, trillions of dollars, is being funneled into this idea of SpaceX.
Yeah, you see that? An idea.
Yeah.
That's how it always is anyway.
Right. And you know, we can get into it. There is going to be a war between the Lord and his angels, all right, Esau and his,
Military.
All right, and the military-industrial complex is shifting, all right. Instead of your Raytheons and your Boeings and stuff like that, a lot of this stuff is being now moved into AI technology. All right, a lot of these things that they have in the military now are not autonomous.
Oh, okay. Remember the stockpile got low, so they went to the manufacturers like Ford and GM and told them to fix their assembly lines to start making drones and weaponry. Because they did it back during World War I and World War II, so it's not like it's something new. Oh, we got to give up our business. No, you signed an agreement with the government.
Yeah.
You know. Got it. Yeah, because we go into some of what you were talking about.
This is Amos 9:2. Though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them.
Yeah, with the hand, the Lord, you're not going to see a big melanated hand come out of the skies. All right? He's going to use us and the angels. So Esau, of course, he's going to have his technology waiting. The reason he knows that there's a risk in what he's doing is because we're breaking it down to you. Esau and Edom didn't know what Amos 9:2 meant before our elders and apostles were going into it. So now we're telling you, your ass better be terrified. Go ahead.
Yep. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down.
Yeah, on some Elysium shit. You know, you think you're gonna go escape into the sky like the 100, you know, and then come back down to Earth when everything's all radiation's gone and all this other crap? Absolutely not.
Sure.
You know, even the astronauts tell you they get massive headaches. They start seeing stars. They think their head's gonna blow up when they start getting towards the Van Allen belt.
Can I say something?
Yeah, hop in there, Rabak Rashad.
Not only these astronauts, but they're receiving these massive headaches. They be seeing, they call them bogies, but they are chariots of the Most High, and they be seeing them, and they not allowed to speak about them because of the fact that they don't want the society to be alarmed. But it's all out there in the open. It's all out there in the open. Everybody knows, you know. But what they do is they no longer say that they green men from Mars because the truth is out there. And you had this one guy, he was a pilot, said that the men that was occupying them vehicles looked like big black men. And what was their videos on that? You know, so I was like, wow. You know, when I saw that, but I heard that, I was like, wow. You know, I mean, truth is getting out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Esau, Edom. If you are seeing big heads with black eyes, those are demons ready to destroy your ass.
That's right.
You know, because the Lord does have powers on the left-hand side. When we see the manly dark images, and dark figured men, those are our brothers. The servants of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Fellow servants, I should say.
And demons flying them chariots too.
Yeah.
Demons flying chariots, you know. Let's not get that mistaken. Demons flying chariots.
This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. No, flesh and blood can't inherit. It's not going to inherit the kingdom. All right, and out there, outer space is a hostile environment for mortal men. All right, the dude did the space jump, Felix. It wasn't actual space. It was like the top of the ozone layer, to where gravity still takes place. And he had to gain control because you know where the blood is going to come out afterwards, right? Out of the eyes. You spiraling out of control, the G's and all of that. So he had to gain control of the suit and everything to stabilize from doing that jump, that high altitude jump from out there. But that's, you know, just to prove, like, flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom, man. You know what I mean? It's the elect men going to be changed in an instant to get on the chariots.
Yeah, Esau trying to tap into the fourth dimension. When the Lord gave you your blessing, it said the dew of heaven. The heavens you can see. You know? Right. It's not talking about the third heavens. He got this thing, I forget what it's called. It's like he's creating black holes. He's got a certain area, hundreds of acres of land where he's colliding, forget what it's like yeah, it's like the thing from the series Flash. It blew up.
Particle.
Yeah, that's basically what Esau's trying to do, you know, creating black holes and shit, you know.
They discern and all that.
Yeah, they did it in the Hellboy.
The
Nazis had a particle accelerator and opened up the dimension opened up a portal to the next dimension. Hellboy came out of that. Other demons was there and all that type of stuff.
Because Esau, he understands the power on the left-hand side. He knows how to work backwards and get demons to appear and shit like that. You know?
Like having that power.
Yeah, so now he thinks he can follow Satan through the damn hole. You know,
it's all mysticism.
Yeah.
And you see it in the scriptures. You had the wicked witch of Endor not resurrect, but call back Samuel from the spirit world. Yeah, so that mysticism was passed down. You have a celebrity witch. Her name is Satin Says, and she was saying to be of that particular order that she is, it's a bloodline thing. She's a Jake. She was like, it's a bloodline thing, and not everybody can possess what I could do.
What's that woman? That Barkovich, her name is?
Yeah.
Barkovich, yo, she a fucking special demon. And she got all these rappers and these celebrities in her grips. She's a special demon. Marina Barkovich, I think it's her name.
Like Black Fingers.
Yeah, she a demon, special made demon. You know, and the most I'm gonna destroy that bitch, you know what I mean? But you know, right now she got Jake in her grips, meaning not only the celebrities of the rap industry, Hollywood, but also the sports industry. She got them in her grip because why? Because she could cast some spells that make you successful. And that shit is crazy. That shit is scary.
That's why I say gift destroys the heart. You got this gift, you thinking you getting benefits and live life. This is Esau's benefits. This is carnal benefits. Yeah. You know,
it comes with a price.
Yeah.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians 15 and 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither does corruption inherit incorruption.
That's right.
So the chariots, these bodies can't go in the chariots, right? Especially go where the chariots want to go. Just like how you have depths of the ocean, where we'll just get completely demolished if we were to try to go there. Same thing up above. So the scripture is going to break itself down. 51, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep or die, but we shall all be changed, right? You know how you see this every day in the form of the caterpillar, right? The caterpillar is crawling on the earth, and the Most High changes it, now it can fly. You know what I'm saying? It was doing something extraordinary that it couldn't do before.
Butterfly.
And that's what we're going to be in the kingdom, extraterrestrial. We're not going to have celestial bodies. We're going to have extraterrestrial bodies because we're still going to be drinking wine and, you know, reproducing these things. But we're going to be doing things like flying, all types of crazy stuff, man. Right? You know, spiritual power.
Yeah, you got all these examples that were given left to us of Yahushua, how he escaped. It even tells you that because it wasn't his time yet, you know? So he said we're going to be doing all that stuff and greater when you read in the book of Acts, the first chapter, how we need to be witnesses. All right? Yeah, bring that out, and I want to get this precept.
Jeremiah 31:37 says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord."
Yeah, so these are all Esau's trial attempts at saying, see, the blessing has been changed. It's been maneuvered, the goalpost has moved, so to say, you know? Now the children, is because he's wacky. Look at all the damage he's done unto us. But he can't completely destroy us. He's physically trying to destroy us, and he's spiritually trying to destroy us. You know? I'm talking about the hopeful elect. The hell with the rest of the 2/3. They're already through. All right? Because we see the enemy now. We're like, nah, we're not going to allow it. All right? Go ahead, bro.
Add on too, like you said, them satellites and them outer space projectiles, them black holes. They trying to adventure out into the depths of outer space.
Right.
You know, but it's impossible. You know, the Lord already appointed your bounds that you cannot pass.
Right.
That's right. Too close to the sun.
Esau don't even realize that the Most High set bounds that he can't pass, and he have been given appointed time to rule. Pursuant to Daniel chapter 4 verse 7, the Most High, 4 verse 17, the Most High, you know, the decree that's set up by the watchers to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. The Most High set your time up to rule, man. So you ain't gonna overstep your bounds.
Good. What you got?
It's quick. Proverbs 25:3. The heaven for height and the earth for depth, and the heart of the kings is unsearchable.
That's right.
Unsearchable. Mortal man cannot search that out. It's infinite. The Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, power is infinite, eternal. You can't. You will never know what they're thinking. You all right? You trying to explore everything. It's not for you. You moving beyond your station, man.
Yeah, like you got this thing called the Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Esau wants to master that. He wants trying to figure that out. But Moab beat you to it because they're so damn smart. They built some type of, I mean, they didn't explore the whole thing, but they got to a specific point in it where they found a new type of mineral, something they've been trying to use in all their technology, you know? But Esau, where you at? You still don't have a bullet train, you know?
Right.
You still don't have a bullet train.
What's your bullet train?
Moab and Ammon, they got trains going in and out of apartment buildings and shit, you know?
Even the chip, China made the chip, made it more for the general public. It's available for anybody.
Yeah.
Patient, can't see, you paralyzed. They got the chip. They call it the size of a quarter, and they could, it's available.
Yeah.
So they be sort of that too.
Over there, that's a cashless country, man. There's certain places you just walk in, buy what you want, and you pay for it for facial recognition, you know, or what they call alley pay.
So Esau slacking against Moab.
Yeah. Bring this out real quick.
I want to get two scriptures. This is 1 Peter 1:3 to verse 4. Blessed be the Most High and Father of our Lord Yahushua, which according to his abundant mercy have begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahushua from the dead.
Yeah, that was powerful, man.
Yeah.
We preached the resurrection of Yahushua, that he died and he came back. That's heavy, man. That's a heavy ingredient to our faith, right? Because that shows that we're able to attain the same thing ultimately. Some of us may get translated, But if we had to die for it, fuck it. Excuse my language, you know.
It's all good.
At least you out of there. You on the first ship out of here, you know. So to say. Go ahead.
Yep. To an inheritance incorruptible,
right,
and undefiled.
That's what I wanted to bring out. An inheritance incorruptible and undefiled. All right. The Lord, and when you read it, Isaiah 54, it says, "Their righteousness is of me. Any other word that shall come up against you, thou shalt condemn." That's why we say in our speech, yeah, we're perfect. The words that we coming out, we teaching 100% truth.
That's right.
We just waiting for our bodies to catch up to it. All right. We understand we're not gonna be perfect. We don't got it all the way, man. Like these other Israelite groups will have you thinking they got it and shit. Right. You know, all types of madness going on, within them groups. You know, but this is incorruptible. Like the priest was saying, man, we gotta get changed to get that. Now, they said it's part of our inheritance. I mean, this is worked into our DNA. It's worked into our lineage. You know, they're coded in, so to say. You know.
You know, it's heavy too, man. Like you mentioned the Mariana Trench. There's creatures down there. That's just their natural habitat. That these machines can't even go. You know what I'm saying? They're just down there. Like, creatures like Leviathans down there. You know, all these different type of creatures, man.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But that just shows you. That just shows you right there, man, how it's just a great work to the Heavenly Father, because those creatures, you bring them up here, they'll probably, you know what I'm saying, they can't survive. So the Most High has different parts of this earth that you need a particular shell or what have you to habitate. Spiritual power. Your spiritual power, yeah. We're going to go down there and search. The scriptures tell you in the book of the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus, right, that most of his works are hidden. We're only seeing a fraction of the things that Heavenly Father see, man. Right. Every time, I'm not going to go too much on the tangent, but on Windows, right, I have the screensaver thing in my job. Every time it's showing you a new animal. I saw the seagull with blue feet. I'm like, what? You know how the Lord just, I'm like, yo, they just be creating.
Yeah, that's crazy. Last night I was watching this dude. He was traveling. And he was in the northwestern part of China, and they got black apricots. I was like, what the fuck? I've never heard of a black apricot, but it's indigenous and native to that area. I'm looking up the benefits. I'm like, damn, I gotta get a hold of this somehow. You know what I'm saying? Now they probably got them imported somewhere, you know, in the city, but they're just growing naturally over there, bro.
But they, you know, Esau gonna hide that for much. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna let us get that. You know what I mean?
And it has all these medicinal benefits because he was at a medicinal shop, and they had all these different colored dates. And he was like, before you go, he gave him a gift. He said, try this. He was like, it tastes like an apricot. He said, it is. It was a black apricot, bro.
Like, see, wow, Esau ain't gonna allow us to get that, get our hands on that, because a lot of things that's allowed in America is banned in Europe, and in China and in Japan.
Okay, so like you see the article of the Norwegians, they imported all that salmon in their food.
1,000 kilograms. They don't trust the American food.
The Norwegians, the Brazilians, the Argentinians, everybody importing their own food.
A lot of people, a lot of countries do not want it to have anything to do with American produce or their food, because they know it's all poison. It's all poison. We're the only ones that sent it to America and their food. And that's going into what Ezekiel 12 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm saying it right, or I'm getting
4 and 13, I got it.
Oh, it's 4 and 13. It's slacking. Yeah, bring it up.
Real quick. And the Lord said, Ezekiel 4 and 13, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them.
Yeah, all our food is poison. And then the other one, we're going to drink the poison of serpents and live. Because our food and our water is all defiled. A lot of it doesn't have the nutrients we need. Like the first, remember back in the days of Codex Alimentarius documentation that was flooding on YouTube? You can hardly find it now. Where they took the nutrients out of food. The World Health Organization and all of them came together.
Right, because that doesn't benefit them. See, when you're hungry, your body is craving nutrients. If you go to Jamaica, these different islands, you have food, you get full really fast. In fact, the portion size are a lot smaller.
Oh, small.
Yes, because it fills you up. Why? Because it's packed with nutrients. But when you deprive the food of nutrients, you have empty calories, as they call it. So you're eating, and most people in America right now are eating for pleasure. They're not even eating to get full. Like they're saying, I want this. No one damn well is not going to make them full. It's like a pleasure thing. But food is supposed to be something that's nutritious, fill you up, With the DBZ, they had the sensory beat. You pop a sensory beat, you feel all. That's what food's supposed to do. You're supposed to be getting healed from these things. You know what I'm saying? But instead, it's destroying you.
Food is supposed to be a medicine.
Yep. And medicine and food. That was Socrates.
The scripture I have for you before. I'm gonna go right back to it. This is 1 Peter 3:4. To inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away.
Yeah, see, that's what Esau's trying to do. He's trying to defile it. That's why he did things like the Tuskegee experiment, did all types of wicked left-handed shit when we was in slavery, you know, then put us in a position to where we were dependent on him, and now our people are doing a lot of this wicked stuff willingly, you know. So he's saying, look, I'm the accuser of our brethren.
Yeah, right.
You know?
And he complained to the, see what your people doing? You see what they doing? Even though you caused them to do that, and the Most High Yahweh Yahushua, no, you are the cause of the reason why they're doing these things, but you go to the Most High, see, trying to get his birthright back. You see what they're doing? You still want to call them your people? Let me get my birthright back, Lord. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Reserved in heaven for you. Reserved in heaven for you. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, let me read this real quick. Romans 11 and verse 4. It says, "But what saith the answer of the Most High power unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee of the image of Baal." And those are the men, like you read in Revelation 14. Yeah, the virgins that you can't penetrate, man. You know, Esau is dirty. You know, if something's living, he'll try to kill it, then have sex with it, then try to eat it, then try to bring it back to life. Esau is wicked as hell. And he does all this to try and manipulate the outcome. Like you are playing God, like you trying to play God.
Hey, that's what that movie Victor Frankenstein was all about. Victor Frankenstein, if you watch that movie, Victor Frankenstein, he was trying to play God, he took different body parts from different dead vessels and brought it back through electricity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's called now Frankenstein is not the creature. He's just a creature. Victor Frankenstein is the goddamn
the guy working on
the mad scientist. You know what I mean? People don't know that though. Frankenstein was not the creature. Victor Frankenstein is the man that's working on the creature.
Yeah,
right. He's a mad scientist.
It's originally called Frankenstein's monster.
Yes, Frankenstein's monster. Yes, exactly.
I got something. It's Isaiah 14:13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Yeah, he went too far. Can you read that from the top again?
You see he went too far?
Yeah, he went literally. You know, he went way too far. Yeah. 13 again, from the top.
Okay. This is Isaiah 14:13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Yeah, that's the spirit, you know? I'm going to ascend into heaven. I'm going to go somewhere where I'm not supposed to be, you know? That's that same spirit. Just like Isaac told him, look, don't marry these women of the other nation. What did he went and do? He went and got a Hamite.
Yeah.
You know, did the exact opposite.
He wanted the skin color back.
That too, you know?
That's why he did that.
And your father's on his deathbed, the first thing you're thinking is, now will I slay my brother? Your father's dying, you're thinking about killing your brother. That's Esau, man. He be going too far in his mind. That's that ancient spirit that's coming back. Go ahead.
I will exalt my throne. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
Yeah, you try to put in these times, your ass is trying to exalt yourself above the stars of the Most High. And also that makes me think of Job 9:24, where he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Yeah, we're the beams of light on earth. The law, statutes, and commandments, the other nations were supposed to see that we were keeping them, and that was supposed to be our righteousness and make us shine before these nations. It says wisdom makes a man's face shine.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? So we the stars. But then your ass, I think within like the last 10 years, Esau has shot a missile at the moon.
Yeah.
You know?
That was in 2015.
Yeah, sending ships full of trash out into space. You got stuff called space junk. You know, you got a whole island in the Pacific, nothing but trash.
No, but what you call that plastic? It's junk.
Yeah, junk.
That Esau done just tossed out there because when you look at it on 125th Street sanitation, what they do, they dump everything in the ocean.
Right by the water.
Yep, like they dump everything in the ocean and keep it there. You know what I mean? So that's why the water is so murky. When you go out of the country, or if you go to Florida, certain parts of Florida, the water is ocean blue.
Yeah. Well, they make things that's non-biodegradable, right? So it doesn't go back into Earth. What you're supposed to do is burn shit. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have things that are biodegradable and trash, whatever. Burn that shit, man.
Everything that's created is supposed to go back to the dust and go back to the earth where it can be recycled properly. But Esau don't do that. Right. That's why it says destroy him to destroy the earth, man.
Right.
You think a lot of this stuff is like fancy, but you go to these different parts of the world where they still quote unquote living backwards. They're not really living backwards in the way things are supposed to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like I talked about, you burning the trash and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be this whole we recycling water. Like what the fuck? And the water that you're showering with is the same one you're drinking. It's the same one that you're pissing in the toilet. It's all the same thing being recycled with a ton of chlorine. Yeah. That's disgusting, man.
Yep. It says what?
That's crazy.
Known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, it is an expansive area of the ocean twice the size of Texas.
Yo, they said the whole population, I didn't know
garbage in the ocean. Yeah.
And they say the whole population of Earth can fit on Texas. Texas is a large land.
So that Esau, you gonna have to figure out how to get that shit out the ocean in the kingdom. You gotta figure your ass gonna be tasked with cleaning up the planet, man.
We're gonna make you clean that shit if you gotta eat it.
Right.
Red bastard. If you gotta eat that shit, you red bastard.
That's all we need, the holy nukes.
I like that idea.
Hey, what's that joint called? What's it called? When you gotta do a job as a punishment and you not getting paid? When you get in trouble by the law?
It's called slavery.
The other one.
Community service?
Yeah, community service. That's community service.
Oh, not community service. Or it could be what you want to call continuing employment.
Yeah.
You use that word employment, it means slavery.
Yeah.
So continuing employment, that's the proper word we're gonna use. Continuing employment.
That's right.
Or community service.
Yeah. You're gonna go back to being a Slavic, Slav this and all that. Yeah, we're gonna find some real because we're gonna get our language back. We're gonna find out some real derogatory terms. Right. Even if because Jake be making up words. We're gonna have something special for you Edomites, man, in the kingdom.
And we're gonna make sure you pay.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay severely, double. It is what it is. Yeah.
In the size of the north. Now this is the next verse. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's what this man is proud of.
Yeah.
That's some shit. I would never utter nothing like that.
Yeah, he got lasers. He got lasers and weaponry attached to certain satellites. You know, he can. You see it in the movie Eagle Eye. Man zooms all the way down onto your hair follicles.
He can cut the hairs with your head.
Yeah,
that's what the Most High said. He can cut the hairs with your head. Esau could do the same thing with his technology that the Most High gave him. That was lent to you.
Right. Yeah. That's a good word.
The planet was lent to you, man. The Most High leased the planet to you. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the size of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man?
Right, that's death. So that doesn't mean there's people that are going to sometime find hell and say, damn, there that nigga is right there. You know? You know what I'm saying? You can't see it. If hell is the place you go to and burn forever, how the hell are people looking at it?
That's the position of difficulty.
There you go.
The position of you being in the lower state.
Yeah.
You being fucked up.
Yep.
In layman's terms.
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
Right, the confessions of an economic hitman.
Yep.
Who's the goddamn worst of the heathen, man?
Right? What's his name, John Perkins?
Yeah, something like that.
Who's the worst of the heathen?
Mm-hmm.
These Amalekites, man. You're the worst of the heathen. Look at Benjamin Netanyahu. Look at his ears. Look how he look, bro.
You know, you could even look back at history, right? You always talk about the pharaohs, Egypt, that had us in hardcore bondage. now you see them back in like early 2000s on the news with a fucking fly picture next to them.
Big ass stomachs.
Big ass stomach, completely hungry. Same thing too with the Elamites. All right, when you read about Darius and these guys, those are Persians, those are East Indians, and they're over there throwing shit at each other. So the Most High can have you in this pompous state and bring you so he did with Nebuchadnezzar. Work down real low. So when we're in the kingdom telling the stories of what happened in America, they're gonna be looking at Esau like, no way.
Yo, they got it.
They say that no way.
The Persians got an annual event. You're right. I saw that. The Persians got an annual event where they throw shit at each other and you know, they be running down the hill, all that crazy shit.
Yeah, saving it up for a whole year.
And they used to be a royal. They had the largest kingdom.
Over 127 provinces.
Yeah. And now look what the Lord did to them. India, and what's the other one next to India?
Pakistan.
They're the same.
Bangladesh. Bangladesh.
Yeah, they're the same, man. They're Elamites, man.
But the Most High, what he did was, he enriched them with the capability to produce nuclear missiles. And they also been enriched with oil and other natural things that keep them afloat. And why do you think America don't go to Pakistan to try to attack Pakistan or try to attack India? Why do you think America don't try to attack North Korea? Because all these nations got nuclear missiles. But if Iran get a nuclear missile, then they want to try to fuck with Iran? Hell no. They don't fuck with North Korea. They don't fuck with Pakistan. They don't fuck with India because they got nukes.
Yeah, that's why they only messing with Iran so much. Basically, Iran, they don't really need the nukes because Russia got the nukes. Yeah. You know, they all their friends got the switches. You know what I'm saying?
Iran is not a threat to the United States. Iran is a threat to Israel. The land of Israel, which allies with the United States. There's no way Iran. It's just, you know what I'm saying? The U.S. and Iran is just way apart, but Israel wants control of that region, complete dominance of that region, and Iran is one of the last strongholds in the region that's fighting against it.
Yeah,
they want to break up. They want to break up Iran into different provinces. You know, break this up here. They got total control.
Or just put a puppet in there.
I was gonna say that's why the U.S. can only remember they struck Nigeria, right? Northern Nigeria. But just on the other side of the border is uranium deposits that Iran imports. So the whole thing of them going into Nigeria wasn't to fuck with the Nigerians, it was to disrupt their Iranian imports. I'm sorry. They're sending uranium to Iran, and in return, Iran is sending military efforts and other stuff into Africa. You know.
And right now, the front, the bulk of that war is happening in the southern part of Iran, at the Strait. But Iran is still getting stuff imported from the Caspian Sea, which is up north. You know what I'm saying? Places like Russia, what have you. This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse focus. Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
That's right.
Everything Esau's got that's Isaiah 29. Yeah, you can read the next verse. About the shot.
So surely your turning of things up. You mean first up or keep reading?
Keep reading.
All right. Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not?
Right, that's that pride again in Esau. That's that ego. You know? Go ahead.
Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? Mm-hmm. Is it not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field?
Right, so Esau, Edom, before it, because there's got to be destruction before the peace comes. But they don't think it's going to happen. It's always what they call a cognitive dissonance. That's what's going on with Trump, and because he said Israel basically defend yourself, but that's all a show. Yeah. He's gonna bend over for Benjamin Netanyahu again very soon.
Because Trump is his bitch.
Yeah, Trump gets his check. Trump has his checks signed too. This nigga don't sign his own checks.
Trump is Benjamin Netanyahu's bitch, and America is Israel's bitch.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what president, what party, they're all gonna grab their ankles for Israel. They've all been compromised. cannot be in that position without some sort of leverage on you.
Right.
It says, into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest.
That's good right there. That's good. Our country is going to be beautified, but that land has to get completely destroyed first. When you read in Ezekiel, it says that you go into encompass the land of Israel. All right, they're going to march down into there, and I believe a ground operation has started on that island in southern Iran. If I'm not mistaken, they talked about that island that they weren't going to take it over, but now they're doing it.
They can't take it over. Iran is too vast.
Yeah.
Iran is too vast today. They can't put. The only way to take over that land, they put ground troops.
Millions of them.
It's impossible to put. It's not going to happen.
The mountainous regions and all of that.
Yeah, because they got to put ground troops.
Yeah, well,
it's impossible.
Well, not only that, it's like, people are like, oh, send troops in Iran. It's not that simple. Like, logistically speaking, you have to feed these troops. You have to get tanks. You have to hold that region. The moment you leave, they're just going to take it back. So that's just not for them to really control Iran. Things has to get escalated to that World War III type fashion. This is not like Iraq, wherein the strategy in Iraq was shock and awe. Let's bomb the hell out of it and just completely terrify them. But the Iranians, the IRGC, which is separate from the Iranian army, by the way, the Iranian army is not at war right now. They're at war with the IRGC. They're completely decentralized. So what does that mean? You can't cut off the head. They thought they were going to do that when they killed the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini, but his son is in line, which has other sons and brothers, and they don't know exactly who the specific leader is. And they did that on purpose. The IRGC, think about it like this. You know, you have 51 states in America, 52? Iran has 31 provinces, right? In those each 31 provinces, you have 2 IRGC leaders. And you don't know, and they're completely separate. Yeah, like what you're doing over there, I'm over it. Like, so they don't know who the fuck to attack.
It's like Kaiser Sose.
Yeah, well, they war game. Like I said, Iran has war game for 2 fucking decades. They saw what you did over there in the Middle East. They're ready to go to the very end. And when you shoot missiles on them, their mindset is what? We're gonna go even harder.
Yeah. See, when real quick, when Iran was considered part of the axis of evil, North Korea, Iran, and Iran, while Iraq was being attacked, they started building their military forces, getting ballistic missiles together, and getting a big arsenal together underground.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
So they've been doing that. So now all of a sudden, America, they're like, damn, where the fuck all this weaponry coming from with Iran? These motherfuckers got all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're shooting down your F-35 fighter jets and everything.
Where the fuck this shit come from?
Go ahead, brother. I want to make a point.
Real quick. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
Can I say something real quick? You would think America, with the funding that it has, will benefit America in this war. But the fact that Iran is using these drones, which are far less expensive, is benefiting them. Like, for example, when you shoot these Tomahawk missiles, it's not like a bullet, just spit them out. These missiles take sometimes a year, 2 years to produce a limited amount, maybe 500 tops. You know what I'm saying?
And they worth
millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So you're dropping 2 tons each of these mega bombs, all right? Not knowing that right there lets you know they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You don't drop carpet bombs if you know where your target's at. You drop a carpet bomb because you're not sure where they're at, but you just want to attack that region.
Yeah.
See, what happened is the Iranian government, they would shoot missiles from out of the ground in the desert, but it's mobile. So after they shoot that missile, they will move.
Yeah, like that's 300, that's 400.
They will move, and then the American government will shoot that missile to try to target that spot where it came from, the missile came from, and it's gone. You shoot an empty target. It's not there anymore.
And like I said, the only carpet bomb you don't know where the target is.
And that's how Israel, and Israel and America lost that war in Iran.
That's why they're not releasing the company that the U.S. contracts with for satellite images. They said that the images are going to be delayed up to 2 weeks, and that was because they don't want the U.S. the citizens to know how bad the U.S. is doing. You know what I'm saying? So if you go on satellite images of the U.S. bases, they look intact. All right, some weeks back. But now, if you look now, you see holes and patches of black every fucking way. You know, because they've been trying to hide these images.
And that's what's going to cause a lot of these nations which are allied with the United States, like Qatar, UAE, all right, that had military bases struck. They're going to be like, wait a minute, we thought you could defend us in crisis. You can't defend us. They might as well go to other allies like China or what have you. So this war has been a clusterfuck for the United States, man.
And Turkey, it's like Turkey's on the rise too in the Middle East. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's next. Yeah, lots going on with Turkey.
Yeah.
Verse 10, drill 3, verse 10, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong.
Read that again, plowshare.
Yep. Joel chapter 3, verse 10. Yeah. It says, beat your plowshares into swords.
Instruments of agriculture, right? So in times of war, you have makeshift weapons, right? Now you have to transition this scripture to modern day times. All your funding that's going towards agriculture or whatever, let's finance that now towards military equipment.
Yeah. That's why the government, they went to Ford, they went to GM, Lockheed Martin, these groups.
Raytheon, Boeing, TransDigm. All you gotta do is follow the stock. It rises during times of war.
That's right. It says, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong.
Now the weak represents these other nations that at one point didn't have any access to nuclear capabilities. Notice I say access. All right, they don't necessarily need it. Like the elder was going into, you just have to be allied with somebody that has it.
Yeah, that's the true breakdown of first world, second world, third world. Third world doesn't mean that you don't got a concrete sidewalk and stuff. It just means you're not allied to, the bigger powers.
Right. And just like you see like a mob boss. Words will continue.
Yeah.
I gotta get that some fix. That shit is twisted.
You said mob boss, right?
Yeah. New one.
Brothers mention like a mob boss. Someone that advocate for you, like you got other nations like Russia guarding the weaker ones. Like you got China and Russia protecting. Shut the fuck up. You got China and Russia protecting Burkina Faso over there in Africa. Ibrahim Traore, because he not letting them niggas take all that gold that they got. The U.S. trying to take 70% of their gold and go into their oil deposits because he's for his people. He's taking the salary of the soldiers. Because it ain't about him. It's about they build their own airlines. Fuck the French.
They even got
agriculture shit.
Yeah, they centralize a lot of their resources. The money's coming back into the country. You look at Burkina Faso a year ago, and you look at them today. Their roads are paved all the way up to the airport, the university, the president's house, and all. It looks completely different now.
You'll see when you see these mob bosses, they sit down. Some of them could be very small in stature, but then you see these big bodyguard type niggas on each right of them, right? That what would be like a weaker god now feels strong. He's protected. You got these. So it's the same thing too with these other nations. They're more emboldened now because look, I got Russia on my side, China on my side. Now what?
I got North Korea over here.
Yeah. So
what's up?
Why do you think America is not fucking with North Korea? You gotta understand that. Consider that. Why do you think America is not fucking with North Korea? Why don't America fuck with Pakistan and India? Because they got nukes. You gotta, bro.
All right, it says, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down to the Lord.
The angels are gonna come down. Turn them into the Lord, gonna get spiritual power. But the angels, they melanated. All right, those are the angels, the powers. That's with the Lord. All right. I'm sorry.
It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Yeah,
Our Shabbat.
yep,
Our
that-
Shabbat.
because
The
all
body
these
of the
nations, this is the Third World War. You know, this is the Third World War. That's going to take place because the Lord is in the minds of these kings and these military people to bring about this Third World War, which we in it, but we not in the height of it yet.
Right,
So,
right.
For there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about.
That's talking about the Middle East, right?
That's right.
That's talking about all this. The Middle East, as they say, it's going to finish where it started.
Yeah.
Right? It's a central point. It's very, in terms of prophecy, like geographically, over that land has been a central point for prophecy. You know, these nations are not going to come to America. The missiles, the holy missiles are going to come to America, but these nations are not going to invade America. All that stuff is going to kick off, as it has already kicked off in the Middle East. And who's been the starter? The small hats.
Yep.
They're the one that's disturbing that region. And Abdul,
Never said it's Jamal Nelson.
Jamal Nelson said it in 1952. There'll never be peace in the Middle East because the Jews left black and came back white.
This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise.
That's when battle used to be funny. You know, on my way here, you said YOLO. Separately, I was watching Theon Greyjoy's YOLO speech. But he was on because you know when he took Winterfell, but that speech he was giving, he was like, they're outside the gates trying to fuck us. Well, I hadn't had a good fucking weeks. Like he was amping them up. He was amping them up to just, you know what I'm saying? That's how war used to be. You know what I'm saying?
He said I have a good fucking week.
Yeah. It used to be very merciful. It used to be very violent. You know, why do you think that if war was like how it used to be, there'll be far less of it? Because nowadays, you can have these Edomites sitting in some cabinet somewhere and send off your kids and your ass to fight some war that they don't give two shits about you. In the ancient world, wars matter. You know what I'm saying? And it used to be golden blood, man. Okay, you go into a war and you come out of that shit. You came out. There was even the Romans called it a triumph, a celebration when you were coming back in, man. Because it had more value to it. Now, exactly, it was more brutal, more vicious.
Right.
Now, wars are very far away.
Like
It
like
showed you that. It showed you that in the movie.
One second. Your fellow soldier, my death wound, I'm gonna die, but I'm not dying right away. He might just kill me off real quick because ain't no turning back from that. My testes might be hanging out, but I ain't died yet. So this brother just put the sword in my head or whatever to take me out real quick, right? That's how
They used to
crazy
do it like
was,
that.
right?
Give me mercy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yes, yeah. Give me a merciful death. You know what I'm saying? Really, to be fucked up is you slice a nigga just holding the guts.
Yeah.
And you just like let him just bleed out.
Yeah.
That's some fuck. You know what I'm saying? But that's how things used to be. Yeah. So it shows you, men had just a different, complete state of everything back then.
It shows you ancient warfare, like that movie with Russell Crowe,
Gladiator.
It showed you that in the beginning of the movie when they was fighting against the barbarians. You know how they was fighting was for Jakes, but they had it, but they were Edomites. But you know, they was warring against the barbarians. Also, prepping up people to fight in a war. Judas Maccabees is excellent with that right there, man.
When you're going to do right, and when you're going to Deuteronomy 20th chapter, we did that. You know what I'm saying? How the priest, he's reading our history and getting us prepped for this battle. Guess what? Sports are a low-level form of warfare. That's the closest thing we got to war right now. And before the game starts, to the left, any dogs in the house who getting the men rallied up. That spirit is still there. A lot of these sport athletes, don't be too surprised that they were gladiators in their past lives, man.
They were.
People still yearn for violence and shit like that. You know, one guy at my job is an older Jake. He was like, the reason Jersey and New York ain't at war with each other because you had the fucking Jets and whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's being satisfied. If that wasn't there, I want to take your shit. That's in men's mind, you know? Take territory to conquer shit, man. I'm serious, brother.
Yeah.
It says, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood.
Yo, there was a scene in Game of Thrones. My man Jon Snow grabbed him. Yo, get to the battlefield. Yes. Arrow right in his head. Shit, yo, it was crazy, man. And he just dropped him. I had to go to the next guy. Yo.
Stannis Baratheon. The watchman was asleep when when that dude Ramsey burned the horses or whatever, find out what was going on with the men and then kill them.
Yep.
Because the watchmen wasn't doing their job.
Right? Yep. They were talking blue light. What about Arya Greyjoy? Arya Greyjoy. I'm gonna find out who did this to my father. I'm gonna feed them to the sharks while they live.
Oh yeah.
Like, yo, that's how people were talking.
Yeah, what? It says
medieval on your ass.
It says, yeah, that's what I'm saying it there.
Yeah.
It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Yeah, that's going into the holy missiles. Okay?
Yeah, that's why all them drills, North Korea was always shooting missiles over Taiwan and these other countries.
In Japan?
Yeah, they're not supposed to be shooting missiles over this nigga constantly letting off shots. And they're hitting their mark every time, you know?
He's letting America know it. Israel know, listen, don't fuck with us, man.
Yeah.
You fuck with us, we're going to give you something that you're going to regret.
Yeah.
So that's why you never see America talk about, all right, back in the early 2000s, the axis of evil was North Korea, Iran, and Iraq. The only one that got invaded was Iraq. Now, Iran. But Iran is putting America to flight. You think they go to North Korea? Why? Why not? Because they got missiles. They got nuclear missiles. And I'm thinking that the reason why they got that deal with Iran, which was that ceasefire, which was cross-faced by America, by Israel over the weekend, is because Iran has been offered nuclear weapons by Pakistan or even North Korea.
That whole ceasefire agreement is always going to be broken because the ceasefire is supposed to be between Israel and Iran, but Iran has allies in the form of Hezbollah.
Lebanon.
Yeah, so
Yemen.
Yemen, right, with the Houthis and Hezbollah. When these Hezbollahs and these Houthis do their particular strikes, Israel's going to hit them anyways, and they're going to say, well, ceasefire has been null and void. So it's going to be endless.
See, and Donald Trump is trying to walk his way out of this war, but Israel is keeping them in there by doing what they're doing, by hating, because in the agreement, Yemen and Lebanon is a part of the ceasefire agreement. But as long as Israel is hitting Lebanon and Hezbollah, which is Hezbollah and the Houthis, which is Yemen, the ceasefire is like, it's off.
In other words, the ceasefire can't cover the Hezbollah.
So what it is, what they doing is, what Israel was doing is, how can I say, they fucking up the agreement, and it's deliberately done. They're the goddamn devil.
This is Jeremiah 50:45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them.
Yeah, so it's going to be something that they do that's going to trigger these nations and say, nah, you're fucking with the earth too much. You're fucking with our economy, our people, our whole way of life. We're going to march on Jerusalem, basically. You know, we're going to send our troops over there, or our drones, or however, other submarines. That Gulf, the Mediterranean Sea, is going to be flooded with warships, man. You know? It makes me think of that game. I love playing it still. It's a Battlefield, man. They're going to be playing Battlefield over there. Coordinated strikes from all over. You got these countries like Spain, some of the EU nations saying the U.S. can't operate out of your bases. Look, everything's going to be fully operational, whether you like it or not. Again, there's always triggers that start these things. It could be a cyber attack, it could be a plague, scarcity of resources, an assassination, like how it was in World War I. Yeah, they killed that official, Something like that could trigger these nations to say, all right, we all have to go in there. Because when you have an alliance with another country, just like in ancient times, you take that very serious. If you don't show up, they're coming after you. What the hell's going on? Why didn't you show up to the battle? Even the kings of Israel were like that, With the tribes, why didn't you show up? Where were you?
That's why Russia, Iran, and China, they have an alliance now. Yeah. Official alliance.
when Syria fell, where did Bashar al-Assad, where did he flee refuge in Russia?
Yeah.
Saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it shows you, know, in the least of the flock, it's talking about the small hats.
Yeah.
They're the ones that's bringing everybody over there into that region. All right, they're the ones. They're the source of the problem, man.
Yeah. Tunnel lights.
Yeah, and you have small hats beefing against small hats.
Yeah.
Somebody had put in the chat. You had so-called Jews telling other so-called Jews, "You're not a real Jew."
Damn.
Yeah, you ain't see that. You had the they had the hat on. You had the so-called Jews that had the hat on. They were waving a Palestinian flag, and the other one had the Israeli flag on. So the idea is one is Hasidic Jews and one is Zionists, and they beefing with each other. Yeah. So there's even confusion amongst theirs. None of y'all Jews.
Right. He got. I've been catching up on the dude's videos. He's been going into these different little neighborhoods, these towns, and investigating. Asking them what they're doing for a living. And in some of those videos, you got the tiny hats. They're not mad at him. They're mad at other tiny hats in the area because of how they operate, how they're making them look on the broader scheme. You
talking about that guy that went to Rockland County?
Yeah, Curious Joe.
They got a kind of Jersey too, like
that.
Yeah, it's all
and they always walking on phones, like trying to talk to them. And they just like,
and it's crazy because it's flip phones and shit.
Because they on welfare, some shit, and they ain't feeling it.
Yeah.
And they have their wives working.
Yep, so they got their wives working.
What they'll do, they'll have 7 kids. They don't work. Have the wife work like a half-time job and then collect 40, 50K of tax returns and welfare and just cruise.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire year, not doing shit.
And their theory is the Lord told them to be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
But what Keisha do, she does it in wickedness.
Keisha or even Keisha or what's her name again? The Ephraimite version of
Well, a nigga woman, she'll be
Maria.
fruitful every
Yeah, Maria.
She'll be fruitful every nigga on the block. That's
Maria.
the problem.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be fruitful with one man.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be Dashi. Saying, you gonna be my 7th baby daddy? You're not supposed to be doing that, man. You're supposed to be fruitful as a woman, yeah. Right, but producing children for one man.
Right. You said the Most High switched everything around. In the ancient world, men had multiple wives and multiple babies with different men, with different women. Now you got women in this society we living in now have multiple baby fathers.
Yeah, that's Esau putting sweet for bitter and bitter for sweet.
In the ancient world, it was the men that had multiple women, babies by multiple women. Now you got in this day and age, you got women with multiple babies by different men.
My daughter's trying to be a harlot.
God damn, Esau's the devil, bro.
Bring that up.
It's Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness."
So called white man. Everything he turn things upside down. Oh, you guys are preaching hate because you talking against homosexuality. Because homosexuality, it breaks the family household. It causes disease, famine, and all kind of unrighteousness going on. You liberating women, that caused them to go out and do wild shit, and that breaks off the family household because you're empowering them. A man is supposed to set the standard of how things go on in the household, in the house and outside, when it's concerning his family. All right. A list of other things. Pharmaceutical companies is drugs. You're legalizing the drugs. You know what I mean? That too. And the list goes on.
Well, back in real quick, it's called the Rockefeller medicine, where they got rid of in the early 1900s. They got rid of all these doctors that was bringing out different cures, like Dr. Sabi with natural cures and shit. And they started using oil, mixing it with medicine. It's called the Rockefeller medicine. It's a documentary, and how in the early 1900s how they started mixing everything up and taking everything.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, there's like it's not a blog, it's like a journal where all doctors put all their work into it, and then it becomes like, all right, this is what you're supposed to do.
All the medical journals and all that?
So you had what Rockefellers did, they stopped a lot of doctors from putting truth inside of that, because that's what would make everything. When you ask chat certain things and say, I think this is this and this, it'll say, well, it can't be verified because of these sources.
Yeah.
The Rockefeller stopped. The FDA was
because they did that to medical journals. So I don't mean to blah, but because when I was in college, we had to use sources like medical journals and books. We couldn't. They wasn't rocking with the Google and all of that. But that's what I'm glad.
That's like the Bible for doctors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if it's not in there, it's not true.
Yeah, which is bullshit. But you're right.
I learned that from watching goddamn Grey's Anatomy.
Well, look at that. Look, see what I mean?
You know, there's truth in everything. You be watching some children, something with your daughter or son, you find it like something like, whoa, this is the book of Job 13:4. For ye are forgers of lies, you're all physicians of no value.
Forgers lies, man. You blaze a trail with lies. Nothing was there, but you cut down all the trees. Right. You know, you put up all these buildings and say, this is where oxygen comes from. You know? This nigga's telling you there's got to be a scarcity of water, but at the same time, Bill Gates is taking feces and changing it into water and saying, here, you can drink this. You know? There's plenty of water. If you set up distilleries all along the west and east coast, everybody would have fresh water. You know?
Yeah, this is what the so-called white man has done. He's lied to you so much. Like, you just go based on what he said. Now, most people's conception in their mind is, we're just packed on the planet Earth, like we're just like squished. But there's enough landmass on the Earth for everybody to have homes and large spaces and wells and things like this. You know what I'm saying? To survive. But the idea is not. We can't. The resources are scarce. And it's all bullshit, man.
You got certain individuals like these, like the heathen, the so-called white man that hoard. They hoard, and what's that other word? You hoarding, right? You taking everything for themselves.
For yourself, right? Like being a nigga.
Yeah. It says you're forgers of lies, you're all physicians of no value.
Yeah, the medical industry is a fraud, man. They hide, they know the cures with these herbs and stuff like that. Because they gotta know both sides. But they don't have that, they let that information be scarce or whatever. You know, and they deem through the World Health Organization, what's that, the WHO, United Nations and all that, and the medical thing, that their way is the right way. So how do you have a monopoly? I thought monopolies were illegal. How you have a monopoly on what's healthy and what's not?
That's crazy. You got all these different herbs. Oh, that's
Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Yeah, everybody's mourning right now. That shows you that them small hats are not the Lord's people. Because the world is mourning. Don't give me no sprinkle of, you see, Elon Musk did this. Yo, he's not a real trillionaire. That's, what you would call a line of credit, because they could pull a plug on that and pause that, whatever wealth he got. There's no such thing as he can liquidate all of that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, his companies are valued at trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like $1 trillion.
Yeah. They you know. So they put people in position. Yo, you're gonna be the head of this corporation, all right? Right. And then we got a successor for you, and this and that, man. Come on, man. He didn't actually build that up from the mud. This is Psalm chapter 55, 58. Oh, there we go. This is Psalm chapter 58, verse 2. It says, yea, in the heart you work wickedness, you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. That's a so-called white man. He weighs violence in their hands, through his hands. And earth is given in their hand of the wicked. How? Disease, man. AIDS, this disease, that disease, drugs, your regular narcotics, your cocaine, your heroin, and then through the pharmaceuticals. You got your Oxycontins, and oxycodons and things like that. Those are those are heroin within like it's a form of heroin, all right? The form of different narcotics, man. Yeah,
all these type of things.
you know, and then you got these stupid ass Edomites and Jake said go use drugs. Oh, I'm gonna cut the pill in half. You dumb fuck. You still getting the full dosage. I don't care if you cut a pill in half because it's supposed to go through a thing called first pass, where it might have to get broken down in the stomach because it's enteric-coated to go through the body systems instead of you cutting that shit and it's going straight to the bloodstream before it's due course and your ass ODing. But y'all smart. Y'all didn't take pharmaceuticals, you know? Y'all take pharmacology or whatever. You know?
It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born.
Yeah, they go astray as soon as they be born, man. The wicked is in them already to do their lives or their wickedness. As soon as they're able to initiate that, they do it.
Yep. Speaking lies.
Speaking lies. The so-called white man is the best liar on them. He's one of the best. All right? This whole thing. You know? Shit, I learned some sales from the Scubla Kite. I get customers. You know what I mean? Y'all say, yo, we was working for Scubbies. You know, it sells and shit. But yo, this man is he's the devil. The soul that's lifted up within him is not upright. He's not righteous or just.
Yeah. It says their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Poison, everything. Women's liberation, feminism, democracy, capitalism. That all goes under the free enterprise, under democracy. That's wine. There's legislation system. Right?
It says they are like the deaf adder that's stopping her air.
Yeah, man. And you're a serpent. Everything you do is poison. And first and foremost, it destroys the nation of Israel. It destroys the nation of Israel, God. I'm sorry.
The book of Genesis chapter 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast.
That's the so-called white man, that serpent, before he lost his melanin. A serpent is a malicious or treacherous person.
Also very wise.
And wise.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
In all the nations, go ahead.
Which the Lord Yahweh, the powers had made.
Yeah, they had that left hand knowledge, man. They had that left hand knowledge, man, and they were envious of the Adamites and Adam because of his branches. All right.
No, that's all.
Yeah, so that serpent.
I can keep reading.
Okay.
I just wanted to tell you
that was it. It's up to, man. With what they do, man. They're sneaky. You know, they're sneaky, and they go to the untrained eye. They're harmless, and they're so-called righteous.
You know, they were saying, so the thing with Satanism is like let's say you got a poison apple. It's not supposed to trick somebody into eating the poison apple. You're supposed to let the person know it's a poison apple and be delighted to eat it. That's Satanism. That's a craft of Satanism. And so-called white man practice things like that, right? I want all you niggas to eliminate it, right? So I'm gonna come up with something now called Planned Parenthood, wherein that's literally you going and killing your offspring, just like they did in Egypt, but now it's celebrated.
Look, you women, look, it's your healthcare right. It's your body.
Right.
If you want to live and don't have the financial burden of raising a child, look, it's not death. It's not you're not committing
Jesus
murder.
Save you.
Yeah. You're not committing murder. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're not committing murder if it's a certain trimester or whatever. Yeah.
You're right.
You're right. Be happy. You know.
Yeah. So like you were saying,
I'm being sarcastic, but that's how Edomites. That's how Edomites they are, and stupid Jake. They suck that up.
Yeah, you got pro-life, and you got something called pro-choice. But shouldn't the opposite of life be death? Shouldn't it be pro-life and pro-death? That's what it is. But the so-called white man, the acceptable, is pro-life versus pro-choice. So it's my choice. But how is it your choice the baby didn't just formulate in your womb alone. A man had to impregnate you. You know what I'm saying? Is that what?
The buffalo gland.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. But yo,
Women get pregnant.
that's a throwback.
Women get pregnant by the buffalo gland.
Right.
Yeah, the so-called white man would do things like that. The so-called white man would say, you know what? Be obese. Be morbidly obese, and we're gonna call it body positive.
Oh man.
But there's nothing positive about it.
We call it big bone.
Big bone.
You can't body shame. You know what I'm saying? So he'll take something completely wicked, all right, let you know that it's wicked, but let you embrace it.
Hey, check it out.
Yeah.
You know the truth of that because they promoted this shit.
Lizzo.
Yeah.
She got shamed so much she started losing weight.
Yeah, she started losing weight.
Bring
She
back
lost a lot of weight.
And then she had that. She opened her legs, hit that black shit between her legs right here, because her legs was rubbing together a lot.
Dark matter.
I was like, oh man, that's what she really got shamed because somebody took a picture of that shit and posted that shit. You know, like when she opened her legs and shit, somebody took a picture of that shit. But you know, they didn't take a picture. They kind of froze the video and posting that shit online and saying, look at her, look at that right there.
So what is that germ commercial where you kept hearing That's what it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro.
Graphene between them.
Even things like gang violence,
Yeah.
right? A lot of jakes embrace that. A lot of things that has to deal with death. So-called white man has that people will embrace it.
Because they rubbing their
Yeah,
rubbing together.
so-called white man. What else? The law of attraction.
That shit make them
Thoughts
bacon
become
juice.
things, man. That they make that shit seem like it's okay, boy. It's witchcraft.
Bacon juice, bro.
But they polish it up.
They rubbing that
Like,
shit
yo,
rubbing
you
together.
can attract whatever you want.
It's
You know what I mean?
what's coming
Well,
out
the
of
first
that
lie
vagina?
that you read about in the scripture, he told about who? The serpent.
Yeah.
He told her, he said, look, you eat this, you're not going to die.
Bacon juice.
Right.
You know, I can read
Or
it.
Frank juice.
I think
Whatever
it was,
you wanna call it.
I can read it. It says,
Shit.
now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the power had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath the Most High said, he shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Yeah, that's how the philosophies, man. Food for thought.
Go to college.
And yeah, you could be just as smart as your man. You study. One day you gonna be like the Most High. You gonna know good and evil. Yeah, you're gonna become God's known both for that, but it's gonna come with a price.
And you're gonna become equal to your man.
Yeah.
You're gonna be equal to him.
See, he was spending the serpent spent all that hot shit.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High hath said, ye shall not eat.
Nah, that left-hand knowledge, wasn't supposed to mess with that. But the serpent was like, nah, you get all of this. You know, look, you gonna be enlightened. You're gonna be illuminated.
You're gonna be equal to your man.
No, you're gonna be able to construct a lot of things. You know what I mean? He was pumping up all of that shit.
Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
You're not gonna die. You're gonna be like the Most High.
For the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened. And women love shit like this.
Yeah.
It says, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Yeah, you're a goddess.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
She was getting the tea.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? She was getting tea.
Yeah, she was getting a
Food of the
come
gods.
up.
They got an app, T app.
Yeah.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof. Hosea tells you you're eating the fruit of lies. I'm not talking about an apple. Nope. Talking about lies. And did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
She just kept on nagging them with that. She just kept on nagging them. You know how women are. Just a little bit. You just read up on this. Just study this a little bit. It's law of attraction stuff.
You gotta remember, everything back then was oral, so it wasn't written down. So let's say she was trying to go back and forth with Adam or something. It's not like we had scrolls to say, no, this is what it says. You know, things were orally being given. That's why men lived so long, because you had to pass. The same thing was being said over and over again for hundreds of years, so it could be passed on. You know, Eve was like, the hell with that. You know, the hell with all the oral traditions and the because remember you had prophets, sacrifices being committed. You know, because how did Cain know to put forth a wrong sacrifice? How do we know there was a difference? It was laid out that there was a right one and a wrong one, something that was accepted and not accepted. And Eve, that's what Adam was opened up into, man. We were only supposed to know righteousness, you know. That would allow us to live forever.
He opened up Adam to fucking wickedness. You know what I mean?
Well, not only Adam, the entire world.
Yeah.
The scriptures tell you that's what everything. I did a lesson on dinosaurs, right? Talked about T-Rex. Now, I ask you brothers this. Huh? Yeah, it's real. I'm asking you brothers this. T-Rex, when it was on the scene, was it a herbivore? Was it what's the one that he beat?
Carnivore. It was a herbivore at first.
Exactly.
Right? But
those
when
sharp teeth was sharpened on melons.
Yeah.
All right. Some grapes. You know, because at one point we all ate herbs. Every single day. In fact, that's what we're going to go back to in the kingdom. So everything was being given to us from the earth, from the ground. The moment this woman did this, it cursed everything. It cursed the earth. It cursed the whole planet. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord said after that, it's going to, the same herb, they're going to now bring forth thorns and all sorts of things, man. Verse 7, it says, in the eyes of them, both were open, and they knew that they were naked.
They knew that they was naked. I mean, they lost their robe of righteousness. Because they was walking around with no clothes on. I don't, yeah. So, when you bringing out the word, these things happen, but we don't acknowledge the demon. We just talk over them. Yeah, but we let it keep going out. Let them go. You don't got nothing else better to do on the day of the world. Go kill yourself.
You used to act like we actively selling drugs and shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Yeah, I'm sorry, brother. Why don't these people go to the drug dealer or whatever? Tell them, yo, get out of my neighborhood. But you gonna mess with us because we're non-violent.
Yeah. What about fucking? My woman was telling me about it. Go over to damn Fort Greene where all the Edomites took over.
Yeah.
It's all Edomites over there.
Get out of
She was like, "This is all used to be all Jake, all this." I said, "What?"
Yes,
it's Edomites.
I went to 228, the public school right there.
Yeah, and then we took a specific way back to the crib, and it's nothing but school buses with a Syrian on it, bro. The fucking tunnel lights, they own all that shit just for miles and miles and miles. Yeah. You know, Williamsburg.
Yeah.
You know, you drive right on the highway, all these fucking tawny hats. Yeah. Every fucking way. Why does he go over there and say that shit?
Williamsburg over there, all that was Northern Kingdom.
Bro, you would never think. You would think that Esau just lived here the whole time.
And it says, it says that they knew they were naked. They knew they were going off. Because John 15 and 22.
They hid amongst the trees, right? The other nations. The trees. The voice was the prophets. The prophets were always there.
Yeah, like you see them drakes that be dressing in the dashikis with the hat on. That's them hiding themselves among the trees, blending in with the other nations. You know what I'm saying? It says John 15 and 22, just to prove that the nakedness is not talking about actual nakedness. It says, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they would not have sinned. But now they have no cloak for their sin.
Cloak is a covering, yeah. I'm going to get, what's the scripture say, robe of righteousness.
Right. So the fact that they were naked, it symbolized being exposed, it symbolized sin. They knew they were going off now. It says, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Right.
The philosophies.
Right. So that's some jakes. Again, you might see them you see a lot of jakes amongst these African Muslims, right? They have that hat on, a red beard. They're an Israelite, but they clothe themselves amongst the other trees.
You know, orange beard.
Yeah, they have the orange beard.
With little gray in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this Bible is a mystery. You know what I'm saying? So, but pursuant to the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter, in the 7th verse, the Most High revealed these mysteries, the apostles, the men of the Lord, the men of the Most High want to know it.
Yep, I got something. Isaiah 61 and 10. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my power, for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. Here go another one. He hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels.
Right. The scriptures also speak about the Most High is going to punish those with strange power. All right, meaning you an Israelite, but you're having a completely different philosophy. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy. The guy was talking about Jesus. He's an Israelite. He's from some sort of northern kingdom, right? But he doesn't have on the apparel that he's supposed to have on. You know, he's putting up that cross in your face. Jesus, and I'm saying,
Yo, the fucking music demons is going on. You got this dude on the bike. He listened to the I don't know if he eats or whatever. He listened to.
Shit.
Yo, yeah. You see what I mean?
I just realized.
That's the demons. Yep.
I'm saying, can't always go by the outside.
Yeah, you're right.
And music, I don't really fuck with that at all. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. So you know.
Ghetto gagger. That's what he's trying to get. I got a ghetto gagger. Yeah, that's what he's looking for. That's why he's playing that. He's gonna catch one too. Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
Yeah, they going on with the philosophies of these other nations, man. You know what I mean? Some people is into this music like a damn religion, where they get into like open debates and like, yo, you disrespect this artist and this and that. Like, yo, this shit is only fucking entertainment, nigga.
Yeah.
You're going too far with this shit.
You had. Well, I was watching the videos. You had a Jalen Brunson contest. Had all these niggas put on the spirit of Brunson. You know,
that content,
just fully engaged in it. You know.
You see the one with Drake?
Yeah, I seen the Drake party.
The Drake party.
Like 50 or 60 people that look like Drake.
Farley is saying great things.
Yeah, these niggas was worshiping the Knicks like they was on the court, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
yep.
Last week I was really, I don't know, spirit was on me. I was just like, man, you know, even though I had a bunch of Knicks fans, I wasn't trying to start no shit, but I was just really pissed off at Jake. Like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And only on your mind is the fucking basketball going in the hoop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was with. All right, the cool. The supervisor said at the job, yo, don't call in on that Knicks parade day or whatever. It's cool and all, you know what I mean? Cause you know I'm not going to that shit. I'll watch that shit on TV or something. But the motherfucker didn't tell us the next day like, yo, if you don't got a 3-day work weekend, you don't gotta come in on that Juneteenth holiday. He didn't say that shit though, because that's paid a day off.
This is on the 8th verse. Oh yeah. No, it's a federal holiday, but if you have a federal job, you're off. But if you don't, you gotta go to work. Genesis 3:8. And they heard the voice of the Lord power walking in the garden.
Yep, the voice, those are the prophets.
Right.
Yeah. The voice of the prophet, the garden. That garden was in the land of Israel, all right? Because the whole earth was a paradise, but it was a specific land that would outshine everything. It's a garden, yep.
Yeah, and that was before the flood. So what they call Pangea, that's what we see what they say it looks like, but it could have been bigger. You know,
right.
It could have been much bigger because we don't know. Esau's lying, and you got some people that'll say the map is upside down, but I don't even know if I believe that because they say all the rivers are running a certain way, so the map has to be flipped. But in the scriptures say the Lord makes the water go. Some rivers, you know what I'm saying, they go all ups and north and south. So, but we're gonna get all that knowledge back.
Yeah,
you
we're
know.
gonna fuck Esau up and keep lying too.
Yeah.
That's why the main thing to do is just follow what the scriptures say concerning what you see around you.
Yeah.
You know, for many years, people still believe it that not only is the earth spinning on its axis, it's spinning around the sun.
Oh,
and you can't feel it because Esau said so. But that's all bullshit. The scriptures tell you that the earth is the one that's running and doing its course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
24 hours in the earth is that we would feel that shit. It would have to spin super fucking fast.
Faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, faster than the speed of sound. And then not only is it spinning on this axis, it's spinning around the sun. That's all bullshit. We have, you know, we live in a geocentric universe. The earth is the center. Things orbit around the earth, all right? It's the center of the universe. In fact, the earth was on the sea before the sun. Which that should let you know that when you read Genesis, it's not talking about an actual day.
Yeah.
Right? Because a day for us is the sun coming up and the sun going down. All right? But we're hearing about 2 days but there's no sun around, so what is it talking about, man? You know what I'm saying?
Even this light, the twilight, what they call an international dateline, a dimmer light and a brighter light, that was created before the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
So this illuminated, this it looked just like this before the sun.
Before the sun was around, exactly.
And that's why when you're on certain parts of the ship, the international dateline, you can actually see night and day at the same time.
Mm-hmm. When the sun is out, you can see the moon if you're looking like a tinted window.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? So it's and that
whole times with sun and moon was at the same time.
There's certain shit you saw, so you just like.
And that makes sense. So the moon has to have a brighter light and a dimmer light also because you know when you have the new moon and then when it decreases in perfection. So the moon has a brighter light and a dimmer light. Esau knows that.
So this he never went there because he would be blinded if he went to the moon.
And this is what I never get to, right? Esau would be like, the more you think about Esau, there's more holes, right? So all these planets are orbiting around the sun according to Esau, right? But yet, because of its gravity, the gravity of the sun doesn't pull in our moon, but it's controlling Pluto, which is way out there. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mars is controlling. But it's way out there.
Right.
Beyond Pluto.
Yeah, the sun is making all these planets orbit around it. Pluto way out the fuck, wherever it is. But our moon is not being sucked in. Like, it doesn't
make any sense.
Sunlight hit the moon, and that's how the moon get bright.
That's why I says, if Esau could search out the Most High, if Esau could search out the Most High's creation, the Most High would do away with Israel for all their wickedness. And that's why Esau is trying to do what he's doing.
Yeah. I got something.
First, you got something? All right, 1 Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust.
Scriptures. Right. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Don't fly too close to the sun, man.
Avoiding profane and vain babblings.
Avoiding profane and vain babblings, man. That Neo Tyson DeGrassi shit, that dude is gone, yo. He high off his own bullshit.
Billions of years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got Bill Nye the Science Guy demon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Earth is not billions old, man.
Probably 13, 14,
the Chinese one, the Miyamoto, whatever the dude from Queens, from City College, he got more sense than. You know what I mean? The Chinese one from City College.
Right. You're right, brother. And oppositions of science, falsely so called.
Opposition of science, falsely so called, man. You know what I mean? You get caught up in all of that madness, man.
We came from a fish that grew legs for some reason.
Yeah, elephant came from a tadpole.
You want to
evolved and shit.
Dinosaurs as well.
Yeah, that don't make sense. And in them billions of years, man, listen, man. What we are? We like 14, 15 years. 15,000 years or whatever. You know what I mean? Nothing beyond that. You get of this realm, I mean. You get what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? They always speak about observable science, right?
Yeah.
The scripture says, I came from a man and a woman having sex, which I can observe. Esau says, I came from some chimp, half, shit, whatever, that turned into a monkey, but then we branched off, and now you have humans. I can't observe that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, where all the half monkeys, half humans at? Hasn't it been long enough for some type of evolution?
Why did evolution stop then?
Right.
Pseudoscience.
I got suspended from school for shit like that. I asked my teacher. She was bringing up Charles Darwinism about the evolution of from monkeys to humans. I was so why no monkeys? I raised my hand. What you want to say? I said, why no monkeys evolved into humans no more? Why? What happened? I got suspended, bro.
Yeah.
I asked the professor, because she was like, we got canines because we evolved to eat meat. And I said, well, why do gorillas have larger canines than we do? And they have predominantly plant-based diet, fruit bats. You know what I'm saying? So an animal with sharp teeth doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be eating meat.
Right.
And the only response they could do is expel you from school because they say you're disrupting the class by asking meaningless, questions.
Yeah, because the Esau and his meal thing, the pyramid, he's got meat on there, but meat is a delicacy back in the ancient world. Not everybody had access to flocks and had eat meat, so of course we're eating vegetables and pulse Like the scripture, hey, Ezra said he ate the meat of the flowers when he's out there getting the vision.
So they're dead.
That's like artichoke. You ever ate a raw artichoke?
Yeah.
You boil, you boil it and then you take the leaf. You eat the meat of the leaf of an artichoke.
You know, these school systems, they're designed to teach you what to think. And if you start to think outside of it, like actually have critical thinking, they fail you. So anytime you look at something and say from a critical standpoint, well, that doesn't make any sense, guess what? You just got an F. And you've been conditioned that way since you was a toddler all the way up. So by the time you start saying, you know what, let me think outside the box, you've always associated that with failure. This is the conditioning they do with the school system.
Like if you're in school or whatever, or something, and then they ask, if it's a test question, they ask, what color is blood? We know deoxygenated blood is blue, but you can't say that. You're gonna have to say dark red or some shit like that, because they're gonna purposely mark you incorrect. But we know through observation it's blue.
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
You can't say that. You can't say that the population you see here with 8 souls that was on the ark. You can't say that in school.
Right.
You got to say about Charlotte Isabel, the deliberate dumbing down of the United States school system. Look her up. She's dead now, but Charlotte Isabel, the deliberate dumbing down of the United States school system, and how they deliberately dumbed us down by teaching us, by programming us, and having us think one way. But actuality, she was showing how the Chinese are way smarter than the American people because of the fact that how they're not being dumbed down by the school system. They're actually being taught how to critical thinking. Also, how they're being taught how to deal with economics. They don't teach you economics in the United States. Show me one school system that show you that teach you economics.
It's watered down.
It's funny.
It's watered down to not too many. Mine did, but
gotta
it's
be
watered
like a
down.
private school or a charter school.
It's watered down.
They don't do that in public school. Checks and balances.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was in public school up until a certain age, and my parents threw me into private school. When I got in there, I was learning how to read a ledger and manage household finances and stuff. And then I got kicked out because I stopped doing the work. I hated it. Then you get into home economics. All they teach you is how to cook food, take care of a child. They don't tell you how to take handyman stuff unless you take like an auto body type of. You know what I'm saying?
They took it out. They removed it.
Yeah.
Certain high schools had it,
and
they removed it
shop.
out.
They took shop class out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And they had. I remember they had a woodworking class.
Yep.
They had they would teach you how to swim. They took swim class out of school too.
I think I had a woodwork.
Some bullshit.
Wood shop in junior high.
Yeah, shop. Yeah.
Shop. They had auto mechanic at school, but they took it out.
Yeah, they're building slaves. That's how they create slaves.
Yeah.
They create us to go to work, go home, sleep, pay taxes, get money, get that because create slaves.
Yeah.
And real quick, Slacky, I saw this video of the elite international makers. They was like, keep them busy, keep them tired, keep them poor.
And put programs on TV that's sixth grade education level.
Yep.
That's
Crazy shit. I was like, what the fuck? Keep them poor, keep them tired, and keep them busy.
Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18. It says, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seeming to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise.
Yeah, because the foolishness of this world, man, it's crazy, man. This world is foolish.
Yeah,
when you come into the truth, you gotta be like a baby and built up.
Yeah.
And you gotta have teachers. We got apostles, we got bishops, we got elders. You know,
your talents and your skills and what you learned in the world, it's not always gonna translate over to the truth. It's very seldom or randomly of something you might have did or known or thought process in the world that benefits and edifies and strengthens the body. But more often than not, it's not gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you was an amazing pulling guard, what's that gonna do for the truth? But hey, if you're like maybe a chef or you know how to do something with your hands, some brothers got businesses. They can put brothers onto the businesses. These type of things benefit the body, but not always, you know.
It says, "For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High."
Yeah, it's foolishness with the Most High. This wisdom, the wisdom of this world. If the world is so bright, then how come they can't stop Babylon? Why they can't heal Babylon? Then? Right. You know what I mean? Because it to show you this is all of the Most High, and the wisdom of this world cannot do anything but this cause corruption, man.
Yeah, look at the Edomites. They're great. All the great white hopes, they're either getting assassinated or crashing out on TikTok and YouTube. You know, they have nothing. All your wisdom, everything that you hope for, all these MAGA supporters, you're all crashing out. They thought they were so wise. You know, because Trump filled your head up with the wisdom of this world.
Trump gassed the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Or he is a person that they put him up to be a manager of this corporation or CEO, and he's going to drive it further into the hole. Which they don't even need him to do it. It's designed to collapse itself.
They're doing it because of real quick. They're now well, Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz again, and that's going to disrupt the global economy, and that's what the elites want. See, Iran is under control of the global elites as well. Iran is not exempt from being under the control of the global elites. They be in control too. So that's why the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and what they're doing is they're allowing this economy, the global economy, to collapse, so they can bring in that new system.
This is Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone into his own country, for judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. With the angels, they making a joke. We would have healed Babylon. Babylon will not be healed economically, structurally, morally. This place is sick. This harlot America is done. And all these people are leaving. The companies are outsourcing.
Yeah. I was just reading it earlier this morning, because AI automating jobs. It's predicted that close to 300 million jobs are going to be lost. You know,
the doctors,
due to automations. You know, your clerks, people that sell ticket booths. All this stuff's going to be automated.
Yeah, a lot of useless. If you went to school for writing, you just fuck yourself.
For writing?
AI, we just do that. I'm gonna draw.
Yeah.
I'm saying, so,
Right.
if you got a job that AI can do, they gonna get replaced because the machines are doing a lot better than you.
A lot of the doctors, they're gonna reduce a lot of the doctors and just have the nurses check on a patient, and then have the AI and bring in the lab results and everything
Well, they do,
to the AI.
The MAs, the medical assistants, they're not really going to need them either.
Yeah.
And some of the surgeons, because a lot of them are into robotics.
The robots are doing the surgery.
Yeah, they're doing the surgery.
The robots are doing the surgery. You put your hand in the life of
They don't shake,
People that took up trade, you a plumber and these sorts of things.
Yeah.
Better off.
Even in like certain retail stores, like Zara's, there's no more cashiers. You pick up the clothes, you walk up to the same area, and they created like a little box thingy. You just put the clothes in there, it automatically scans everything, and then you pay yourself. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yo, bro, I wanted to I was getting fitted for a suit, and so one of the days where you had a tailor and all that shit, they still have them, but I stand in front of the screen and shit like that. It told me my neck size, everything. Yeah, bro. You go in front of it. I forgot the suit
It's like the shit they do on Madden.
Yeah, they're like, yo, go in there. Take off your clothes, not naked or nothing like that. And you just stand. It tells you how to stand. It tells you. It took my exact measurements and everything, and it could tell you where to go who has your suit.
Damn.
And you think that's some shit for some luxury? Nah, it was just a fucking regular store.
Yeah.
So this is the way we're going. They're going towards everything being autonomous.
Even barbers. The brother was telling me that in China they got these machines. You just stick your head up in the machine and they cut your hair for you.
I ain't
Laser
doing that
removal.
shit. I ain't doing
Pinpoint,
that shit.
pinpoint
I'm
precision.
going to cut my head off. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Fuck man, cut my
Or
shit
robots,
off.
robot barbers. You
Yo, we in
know,
the real life Jetsons.
push. Yeah, you push a
Yo.
button, you stick your head in there, you get a number 4, whatever the hell you want.
That's the Jetsons. Yo.
The Jetsons is predictive program.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Jetsons, you push a button, the shit open up, and next thing you know, you gotta.
So now you see,
Hey,
it's not a new.
Don't do that.
Yeah, right.
So look, now when you think like, see, this is a critical thinking. Well, we got spiritual thinking. We got spiritual thinking. Look at that. Now you can see there's no need for a large population. That's going to show you they're going to annihilate a lot of motherfuckers, yo.
Yeah.
I got something. Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut the words and seal the book,
Yep.
even to the time of the end.
Yeah, so certain of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding was sealed up, but Yahweh Shai, he loosed the seals for the elect in this time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Yep, and knowledge is increasing right now, up until the famine of the word, man. Because everybody knows, a lot of people are not listening. They just want to be entertained. Oh, I don't want to hear that stuff. You can't close your ears or your eyes and think that the destruction is not going to happen.
Right. They're not
You know what I mean?
measuring the
Shit
time.
gonna move with or without you. You know what I mean?
And when you read the scriptures, all right, and you read some of these prophecies, it sounds very sci-fi until you're at that moment in time, right? So if you go back, let's say, hundreds of years ago, all right, because the first English translation of the Bible, before you had King James, you had like
The Geneva Bible.
you had the Wycliffe Bible as well, right? But if you were to tell them what it was talking about, like chariots and you're gonna have flying ships and missiles, it would sound like some sci-fi shit out there. But the further technology, the further technology is the further prophecy, man. All right, some of the things that you read about in the end times is very futuristic. You know, walking in and out of a store without paying anything because it's tied to a chip. It sounds very science fiction. Till that time period get caught up to what it's talking about, man. So these people had to get more knowledge. They had to know how to create a barcode, right? Because prior to the barcode,
It was
nothing there.
concentric. Before the bar was concentric circles, but that didn't read price data quick enough. And then George Joseph Laura, he was a programmer for IBM. They commissioned him to code that thing. You know what I mean?
so you had to have a barcode. You had to have computers get more advanced. Technology has to go to fulfill particular prophecies you read about.
Now you got those nuclear missiles, smart missiles that just shoot themselves without being hit because they just move out the way. You know? That's that technology. That's why they say it's come like an army of horses.
Oh, and the Most High is behind us. I got it. The book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire."
That's your nuclear physicists and scientists, because they're manipulating the elements on a molecular level, on an atomic level. The Smiths, they manipulated the elements in the ancient world, but it wasn't on an atomic or molecular level. But it was melting steel and things like that. Now they don't went molecular and to atomic level. They get that energy from the atoms. You got it.
That's right, brother. It says, "Behold, I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire,
That's a Smith.
and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work."
For the Most High's work, that instrument is that nuclear. It was atomic, now it's nuclear energy.
Yep, fusion and fission.
Yep.
And I have created the waster to destroy.
It's a waster. The nuclear missiles, that's the waster. Why you don't say that in the scriptures? Because it ain't meant for everyone to understand. This book is a mystery. You know what I mean? It's a mystery.
The word car is in the Bible. All right?
You got chariot.
You got chariot. Saying? So,
A chariot is a vehicle to move, whether it's in air, because now they're in air or on ground.
Now the atomic bombs.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now these missiles, they're gonna be propelled. Rocket launchers propelling them from one end of the earth to the next.
And they don't.
Technology advances.
And they don't have to hit the ground. All they got to do is detonate at a certain altitude. Yeah, they detonate at a certain altitude. At a certain altitude, meaning height, it's a certain altitude, that's when they detonate.
You're right, brother. That's what's going to create that blanket of heat. Yeah, they don't hit the ground.
Yeah. They don't.
I could read this. 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, says the Lord.
So real quick, this is Joel 2:7. It says, straight to the point, it says, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war.
They're going to get past all defenses. They're going to get past all defenses.
Yeah, they got the, what's that called? Not the flares, the fast missile.
Hypersonic?
Hypersonic, yeah. You can't stop. It says, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks.
They're not going to be deflected. There's not going to be any duds. Once they get to their airspace, they're going to be detonated at whatever altitude they're supposed to go off. All right? Now, when they drop the atomic bombs, them shits hit the ground and exploded, right?
They still, don't get it wrong, too. They still have bombs that do that.
Yeah.
Like the bunker busters, they hit the ground. They like 2,000 pounds, 3,000 pounds.
But these are going to detonate on an altitude in the air.
Right.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna waste no old bombs. When they do the carpet bomb, those bombs hit the ground.
Those hit the ground.
Some of them don't even explode. They explode decades later, destroying, killing kids and shit. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They're
not going to bump into each other.
Right? It says, yep. No malfunction or something.
Malfunction.
It says, they shall walk everyone on his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
They're not going to be deflected or dismantled, man. All right? They're gonna all be detonated and go off. Because the Lord's Spirit going to be in them. That's the Lord's army.
These missiles have multiple warheads in them too. And the scripture says their head do hurt. So the bolt, just like an arrow, right? Most of the destruction that's done by the arrow is the head of the arrow. Same thing with the nuclear missiles. The head of the nuclear missiles is carrying multiple warheads, right? Megatons of warheads, man. That's ready to just,
See?
It says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
They're gonna go through your airspace, through your. You know how Esau is. They don't like nobody around their airspace, their water areas. Well, these missiles gonna infiltrate all of that.
Yeah, China slugged it. Now they got the supersonic and hypersonic missiles. They don't need to go up into the outer atmosphere anymore. They got it now where they launch these satellites, like I was saying earlier, that can control them down in this realm, all right? And they're shooting them across the Arctic. So it's not like they're taking the long way, These supersonic missiles are going to hit quickly, man. All right? They're not going to shoot them over the Pacific. They're going to shoot them the short route.
Yeah, because when you go up north in the Arctic region, all the continents seem like they're more closer.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? That's why they wanted to put them pieces. Like we're on a chessboard, your whole thing is to control the center. The center of the board and the main 4 squares or whatever. I don't really know how to play that well, I know the concept. But yeah, you know what I mean? You got it. See, them brothers chess masters. Grandmasters.
The key difference with the hypersonic missiles is the way right now to defend a missile is you have to intercept it with another missile, all right? Because missiles typically have predetermined paths, right? We used to have the missiles with the ICBMs, how they go like that. And there's several different ways to intercept the missile. You can have surface to air. That's the weapons that Russia mainly have, S-300s, 400s, and even 500s. And then you have air-to-air, which is what America prides itself in, meaning I'm going to have my air jet shoot out your missile from the air jet, and then you also have sea-to-air, all right? Your atomic bomb missiles coming out of submarines, okay? Hypersonic missiles, they do not have a set path, meaning they could shoot up, come back, and a last-minute curve its destination. So I always try to say, think of trying to shoot a bullet with another bullet that could curve. By the way, these things travel faster than bullets. Way faster.
So like that's why you're gonna hear a lot of that. You're gonna hear a lot of noise because all of them breaking the sound barrier from going off. You know what I mean?
Anything above Mach 5, which is 5 times the speed of sound, you're now hypersonic. And you got Russia that has missiles that's going Mach 15.
Hey.
Yeah, no, look it up, brother. It's on YouTube. China, yes, Donald fan.
Coming through the air, just
Breaking the sound barrier. That makes a noise.
And that's just what they're disclosing.
Right.
It says, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Yeah, so the mushroom clouds gonna blot out the sun. All right, the mushroom clouds because they're gonna blanket. They're gonna blanket the sky, man. They're gonna cover the sky. That's what's gonna That's why you ain't gonna see the daylight.
It's going to be filled with ash and remains. You're not smoking.
Yep.
Right.
This is gonna be like, yo, like surprise moves, like discover, like a discover check.
There's
Discover
no
checkmate.
solution. There's no solution.
Yeah. It says, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great.
Yeah. The Lord gonna plead with all flesh with fire. The Lord talked 2,000 years and a few hours ago, but the talking is now is destruction and delivering the elect.
Yeah, you may say also the nuclear missiles brought us the Lord's army too.
That's right.
You know, that was gonna put his spirit on what missiles to do, what it's doing, what it's gonna do in that time. Yeah, it has the technology that was given to them by the Most High. Ultimately, right? Yahweh, the angels, but ultimately, those missiles they have the spirit on them to complete that task.
Yeah.
So, if you brothers ever get the chance, you can watch the movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
When the intro to that movie, it showed the predetermined, it showed the creation, the path where this bullet had to travel. It had to travel continents, everything, and it showed that it was meant to be shot in this individual's head. So it's the same thing with the missiles, like the brother is going into. These missiles are meant right now being built, and they have a set, determined path. There's a missile right now sitting in a silo somewhere that's meant for this exact spot we're standing on.
New York missile.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what the Lord got the armies set up for.
I was with you. I got.
For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word, his promises. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it?
Yeah, so who can? But that's so the destruction is it's inevitable. Nuclear destruction is inevitable.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 13. Because the brother said, hey, we got a missile for every particular place. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow."
That bow, that missile.
No,
That silo. The silo, Salat. The bow is the silo.
Yep. His arrows that he shooteth
The
are
arrows
sharp.
are the missiles. They're sharp. They're fists, man.
It says, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss.
They're not gonna miss. They're not gonna miss. They're gonna hit the target. The Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai are the ultimate marksman. They spurred on them.
When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
Different continents gonna shoot their missiles over here from different regions of the planet. Well, these nations they got their silos positioned all over around the world.
That assembly of great nations. It's showing the Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 9 on down to 12. That's going to shoot missiles off on America. So also to Isaiah the 24th chapter, the 19th verse on down, the earth is going to grow to and fro like a drunkard because all these missiles being shot over here and it's being shot back over to the other side of the earth.
Yeah. Yep. That's right.
It says, behold, the plagues are sent.
That's a plague. Nuclear destruction is a plague. Nuclear destruction, what is a plague? It leaves things desolate. It take lives. Nuclear destruction is a plague. Famine is a plague. Disease, pestilence is a plague. But the ultimate plague is nuclear destruction, and the Lord shoot a concentrated fire out of those chariots.
Yep. It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
They're going to come upon the earth. What's part of that earth? America. The land of Israel. Where the scummies are at. The scumlikites.
It says, the fires kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth.
It means to consume the foundation of America. It's not going to be put out. That smoke going to burn forever, meaning a long time. Smoke is going to cleanse the air. That nuclear fire is going to cleanse the ocean floor. When the earth roll to and fro, that volcano or that lava coming out of whatever ocean or whatever land is going to purify. Because once it cools down, it makes fertile land.
Oh yeah, that's going to create new land paths.
That's right.
Yep. So you read about, you read in Revelations, it tells you America is going to be like the kingdom of desert creatures. How that's going to happen? The missiles are going to drop certain lands and create paths for these Moto dragons, these desert-like creatures to migrate over here in this land. You know?
It says,
it's going to be the only desert.
Right. Big one too. Yes, it says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again.
Unless you're watching a movie and hit rewind, you can't put a bullet back into the chamber, man. Right. Once that shit is exited, that's it. Same thing too with these missiles on an even grander scale, man. Once these things are shot, man, that's it.
Can't take it back.
You got about 30. You're going to see people doing crazy shit in that last minute.
Yeah.
Looking for the bitch they always wanted to fuck.
Yeah.
Trying to kill the nigga that's
taking the last bite of it.
Taking their last. They're going to do what? Because once you hear this is not a test,
yeah, I got
it's rap. People jumping out of buildings. There's going to be
twisted.
We're going to be praying to Yahweh and we get beaten up. Because there's no other way out of this destruction. You cannot get into a bunker. You cannot be up somewhere. There's no other way but be able to do the charge.
It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
No, who's going to Yahweh Shem Shah? Ezra saw this. You know? Ezra saw this because the time as we know it is like this square right here on this floor. See that?
It's all linear.
So we see time like this. And then that's all we can see. But what Ezra's got, he got a bird's eye view of time. So if Ezra was here, he was looking over there in the end. Right. And he saw it. You know what I'm saying? He holy shit. Like how, who's going to, it was a very crazy thing to see. Yeah. And he wasn't the only one that saw it. You had many different prophets that the Most High gave them that bird's eye view of the timeline of the destruction. And it made them weak, man. It really messed them up.
They got sick.
They got sick, man. It's going to be heavy.
Yeah.
You got
I want to say, too, which also proves about reincarnation, because why was it saying, woe is me? You know? Yeah. Why they keep saying, like, woe is me, speaking about the destruction, because when they passed in that time, they didn't pass because of destruction.
Right.
They're saying woe is me because they knew that I'm going to be in there somewhere. I'm going to be here somewhere. Yep.
It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death.
Yeah, the lack of access to food. You know, America is a gluttonous nation. You know, working out, 7 meals a day. It's a gluttonous nation. So this idea of fasting even a half a day messes with your head. We're talking about not having access to food for multiple weeks.
Right.
People are going to completely lose it. All right? It's going to go back to just a kill or be killed sort of situation. When you're deprived of food, your mental is gone. You know what I'm saying? You start to hallucinate. You start to do things you wouldn't do. So it's going to be like I Am Legend. These people are going to be like zombies out here, man. Cannibalism. You know?
Yeah.
It's going to be wild, bro.
That's a part of the curse, is cannibalism.
Yeah. You said it?
I'm going to go to 2 Ezra 15.
Let's go.
That, yeah? 2 Ezra 15, verse 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Yeah. Yo, my man Ezra was in a panic.
He was in a panic. He was scared.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's why the Lord, what chapter you in?
15.
Yeah,
15 and 14.
14, 15 this.
Yeah, 14 told let go of the thoughts that are most heavy for thee.
Yeah,
Like, and then he kept telling him that. In the 4th chapter, he said your mind is going too far.
Right, yeah.
You know, you can't over hasten. Because
Yeah.
he's a mortal man.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this truth. We got to suppress our emotions to stay men of the Lord.
Very hard to
You know? Because we all have emotions. Yahweh Shah had emotions, you know? It's just, you got to check them, you know? That's all.
Yo, you know, I'm glad you said that, because it's like controlling your emotions, controlling your tongue.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of us, you're bound to say something that's going to offend yourself, somebody, because the tongue is just a tongue. You know what I'm saying? That scripture came back to my mind because when I was doing that whole lesson on the dinosaur thing, because they like to say, man and woman, there's no way men and dinosaurs could live together because they were so ferocious.
Terrifying, yeah.
A man would turn a T-Rex to a pet. The scriptures tell you that there's no beast on the planet that ever walked the earth that man has not tamed.
Yeah.
You look at a killer whale, the largest known animal is a great whale, right? That is hunted by killer whales. You'll go to Florida, see a guy that's 150 pounds stand on the nose of this thing, and have it ringing bells. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was watching, I finished up that series on the House of David, on Prime or whatever, and the Edomite king, he was telling Eshbal, Saul's son, that an elephant, the way they tame it is from a very small age, they just tie it to a pole. And the elephant, because it realizes it can't leave, it's not strong enough. So eventually they take the rope off, and the elephant never leaves. Because it's been trained.
Yeah.
Every creature on this planet Earth has a fear of man in it because the Most High put that fear in them. You know what I'm saying?
Except for Keisha. That dark matter.
It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh.
That means close.
Yep. And one people shall stand up to fight against another.
This is what you call race riots. You know, and naturally people go to their own race when their back is against the wall. So when you have these hard max prison, they throw that gang shit out the window. They just pick up with their race. Right?
It says, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Swords is an instrument of destruction. You see this tripod? That could be a weapon. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna whatever. Molotov cocktail, put snakes in. Watch the movie Warriors. Chains, whatever you could take to do bodily harm or defend yourself. That's what people are gonna be going with. And you know, I always say, in the end times, you know, people are like, buy gold, buy gold. Aluminum is gonna be the number one metal. Lead, bullets. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna give a fuck about gold. What are you gonna do? Where you gonna cash your gold at? That store's been broken in.
Yeah.
Nobody's.
In The Walking Dead, what was the main thing they always did? Was just making bullets.
Making bullets.
Making bullets in The Walking Dead. That was a major thing.
The dude that make bullets, he was living fat.
Yeah. Large.
So it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invaded one another.
Sedition is speaking of an uprising against the government. And that's what we see now. People say, fuck MAGA, fuck Trump. Look, no matter who's in, they're going to say that. Fuck Biden, fuck Bush. You know,
that nigga, that Edomite climb on top of the bridge in D.C. because he was opposed to the war. And he was camping out on top of the damn bridge. They had to bring him down. This is the second time. The first time I got arrested, they let him go. Then they went to war with Iran. He said, I'm going back up.
All the way up.
Dangerous as hell, bro, that bridge. That he was on top of.
And the wind be blowing up to them.
Yeah, it was high as He said, this time I brought extra phone chargers. I brought a tent. He said, I'm prepared for the long haul this time.
That nigga got demons.
Says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Yeah, so your mayors, your politicians, they're not going to give a fuck about that because those mayors and politicians, they're going to be trying to protect their own families. All right, so it's going to say it. Go ahead.
And the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yo, watch Dark Knight with Bane in it. The criminals set up their own courts. They was judging the police officers. Go walk on that ice out there. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever they're going to do in that time, there's not going to be no trial or nothing like that going on. Like I said, these law enforcement people are going to be trying to protect their own families, man. That's how bad it's going to get out there. With that, we give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Kakadash.
That belongs to the apostles, elders. Salutations to the hopefully like out there. You Akim to Dakim. Shalom. Hey, man. That was good. That was good.